It's October 7th, 2016. We're here at Darling Stadium for some Friday night football. We got another great matchup for you tonight. The Hampton Crabbers welcome in the Kecoughtan Warriors. This is Frank Edgar coming to you from high atop the old stadium here in Hampton with my partner, Wube Gabre. Wube, got another good matchup tonight. Kecoughtan comes in struggling a little bit this season. The Crabbers come in having just gotten off a overtime victory over the Bethel Bruins last week. What do you expect to see tonight?
Well, playmakers once again. Every week it seems like we're talking about the playmakers, but with Keith Grandy, Kecoughtan going with a young quarterback. You know, I said Dion Newsom. Daz Newsom. I'm sorry. Look for him to have another great game. I mean, it's just going to be a great game to watch as far as seeing who can make plays on each team.
Taylor, two different teams this year, even within Kecoughtan itself. An unusual year for Kecoughtan. They lost a lot of players to college football and graduation. Coach Coley's done a pretty good job of cobbling together some starters to replace some injuries he had. What do you think he's got to do tonight to show that they're on the way up?
Well, every week we mention how young they are and how much talent they lost. But, you know, it just takes a little time to regroup and fill those gaps that they lost. I mean, they lost Desmond Savage, Tyler Chris, and Jason Fugate. We can go down the list of everybody they lost. But they're young at the key positions, and that's what's really causing a lot of problems for them this year. But, again, the young quarterback, Grandy, Karan Nixon, who we mention every week, every time we did a Kecoughtan game. And they're getting some linemen back that they didn't have earlier in the year.
And then we're looking on the screen, and we got some pictures of the Crabbers, and in particular that really big line.
Oh, yeah.
That we saw them struggle a little bit in the second half last week against the Bruins. What do the Crabbers have to do to show that they're ready for a good long playoff run this season?
Well, you alluded to the line. That's going to have to be their strength. I mean, we're talking Jalen Powell, Elijah Cutliff, Justin Redd. Those guys can just will their way through the playoffs if they have to with the running game with Daz Newsom, and they can use Nunn at running and Stevenson sometimes running the ball. So their offensive and defensive line is their strength. So they have to utilize that and use their key skill positions on the outside.
Well, as we watch the band come on here to line up, we were able to talk with both coaches tonight. We'll get to some interviews with them. Here's our officials tonight, a veteran crew. Alan Denton, the referee, umpire Darrell Thomas. Head linesman is Kenneth McCord. Your line judge, Frank Burton. The side judge, Neil Robinson. The field judge, Hayward Goolsby. The back judge, Kenny Hayes. And our clock man up here, the timekeeper, Herman Drone. Crabber Pride of the Peninsula Band coming out on the field now to call. We should see a good game tonight. Who do you expect to see tonight that we haven't seen as we broadcast? We've done a Hampton game. We've done a couple of Kecoughtan games. Who may stand out tonight that we haven't called, whose number we may not have called a lot?
Well, anytime you showcase key players, everybody else benefits. So I think Pulley for Hampton could benefit from Daz Newsom getting all the credit. And then on Kecoughtan, Karan Nixon, who's been a starter and a key player for Kecoughtan for years, they're going to key on Grandy, Hampton is. So Karan Nixon, the young quarterback in Jackson, Persinger isn't going to play, so Xavier Marshall gets an opportunity to step in. So, I mean, a lot of players that can step up tonight with the key players getting all the attention.
Well, there's Justin Redd, number 70 in the Crabbers. As you see now, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so a lot of the players wearing the pink attire tonight. I think both squads have a little bit of pink on for that worthy cause. As the Hampton band wearing nothing but, of course, the black pants, the red top, and the white sash, getting ready for our national anthem. It's the Air Force Junior ROTC from Hampton High School bearing our colors tonight.
Thank you very much, ladies
Well, a
and
nice
gentlemen.
performance by the Pride of the Peninsula, the Hampton High School Crabber Marching Band. As you saw, we had a nice picture of Justin Red. We talk about Red. We did not talk about him a lot last week in the lead-in, but as the game went on, he got stronger. And when you're up on the front line and you're really the second biggest guy, it was a little surprising, but he was superb last week.
Oh yeah, I mean, he offense and defensive line. We caught him on a lot of plays where he tackled the Bethel running backs behind the line of scrimmage. Offensive line, penetration, pushing the defense of Bethel around. So he's a basketball player, so he has a lot of carryover skills that he uses on the football field. So quick feet, strong hands, and he's going to be a very vital player tonight.
Well, we're going to hear from Coach Coley. I was able to catch up with him before the game and see what he has to say and what he expects out of the Crabbers. I'm with Coach Alonzo Coley at Kecoughtan High School. Coach, been a tough year so far. What positives have you taken out of the game so far?
Well, we're playing a lot of young guys. We had some injuries, so a lot of guys have gotten a lot of good time. We found one of our quarterbacks, Rajon Jackson, has come along a little bit, and Jonathan Melvin's playing both sides of the ball now, playing linebacker and running back. So we found some gems in the mix here today.
Now talk a little bit about some of the older guys, some of the seniors that have shown up in some positions. They used to play a lot, but they show up in some other spots, in particular Nixon.
Karan's played a lot. He's played some tight end and some running back for us, fullback, running back kind of for us. He's also our starting linebacker. Also with that, Skylar Wilson has moved from tight end down to tackle because we got some guys banged up. So he kind of stepped up, and we're gelling together. It's taking a little slower time than I thought it would, but it's getting there.
Well, you're coming in tonight facing the Crabbers. They have one loss coming in tonight. What do you hope to get out of your team against such a strong team as the Crabbers?
Oh, great intensity. Hampton's a great team. I mean, they're 6-5, 5-1. I've played some tough teams as well. So we're hoping to really come out very, very intense, and then just move the ball all night long. So
anything in particular looking for at the Crabbers that to throw at you tonight that you may think or worry about that you're not prepared for?
Oh well, they have a lot of speed. With Daz Newsome there, and but both of the quarterbacks run the ball real well. So we're looking for a lot of athleticism, a lot of plays and some speed, from them. So.
Now they had a tough game the other night against the Bruins. Did you learn anything about their lines? Because they have some big linemen, but the Bruins seem to handle them pretty well. What do you think you can get out of your line tonight?
Oh wow, they are very, very big up front. I mean, real strong. Yeah, we just got to steady the course and understand that sometimes they're going to win a couple of those, but we got to fight back.
Well, very good. You've been fighting all year. It's good to see you again out here. Coach Alonzo Coley, Kecoughtan High School. Well, it's good to hear from Coach Coley. We were able to grab Coach Mike Smith. We want to go to that right now. I'm with Coach Mike Smith at Hampton High School. Mike had a good win last week in overtime. You come in tonight facing a Kecoughtan team that's got a lot of young players, and they're struggling a little bit. What do you expect out of the Warriors tonight?
They're very competitive. Their record doesn't indicate, I don't think, how well they're playing. They've moved the ball well, and they've been hit with some big plays along the ways and had some injuries, but they're young and they're competitive. As long as you keep working, you get better at that, and I think they've improved each week.
Now, what did you take from last week's overtime victory?
The thought that we should have never been in overtime. That was a sloppy second half for us. Still trying to figure out how some of those touchdowns got called back. I don't know. My eyesight must be going bad.
Well,
it really didn't change much when I looked at the film, so I guess it's even bad when I look at film.
Anything stand out as far as your lines last week? What did you think of your offensive line?
I thought we did an adequate job on offense. Defensively, I thought we played well up front the first half. Maybe we got a little gas there the second half. Made a good drive there on the opening kickoff, third quarter. Went down here and went brain dead on the sideline, I guess, with me, and messed that one up. And I thought the defensive line played pretty good. I thought probably Elijah just had he had a great first half of the night. So I thought we'd improved. We had to go to overtime to get it done. We put ourselves in that situation. We played 6 plays with 10 people, and right where they were going. And you don't give number 9. I mean, you need 11 to try to stop him. He's got accolades for me. He's tough. I like him.
That was Jeremiah Owusu last week, and he played very well. What should the fans look for tonight? Are they going to see anything different out of the Crabbers?
We've been working on trying to get into proper alignment defensively. I think we've been misaligned too many times, and you know that's the key thing on defense right off the bat. But hopefully we're going to get lined up a little bit better tonight. Coach Kecoughtan's in they show you about 80 or 90 different fronts on offense, but we can only keep up with about 3 of them. So maybe we can kind of just figure those 3 and don't get outflanked would be all right.
Well, you know Coach Coley's going to have something up his sleeve tonight to try to get the win.
The only thing is he got a short sleeve shirt on tonight.
Very good. Thanks, Mike. Coach Mike Smith, Hampton High School. Well, Mike Smith talking about the short sleeves of Coach Coley tonight. We'll see how. We've just seen Jesus Valenzuela kick off for the Crabbers, kicks in the end zone, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Warriors from their own 20.
Doesn't Coach Smith know there's a nice breeze tonight? He should be putting a long sleeve shirt on, but nevertheless, that's classic Mike Smith.
Absolutely. Glad to have both coaches talk to us ahead of time. Here comes Razon Jackson, the quarterback for the Warriors.
Goes to Karan Nixon, far side, and Nixon picks up a nice gain. Looks like a gain of 5 on that carry. Nixon was a lone setback on that one.
We've talked about Karan Nixon. This is the 3rd game we've seen of the Warriors. We've talked about Karan Nixon, a young man who played in the backfield several years ago before some of these guys, Jason Fugate in particular, kind of took over in the last couple of years. But he sure has been able to fill in where needed for Coach Coley this year.
He's been playing all over the field. He played fullback, tight end, and he plays linebacker on defense. Now he's at the running back position. He goes in motion near side along with Marshall. 4 receivers on the near side as Hampton tries to adjust. Jackson goes to Grandy. Grandy has a couple blocks. As he goes up, it looks like it gets to about the line of scrimmage. Hampton reacted really nicely on that one.
A little bit of a late reaction, but an adequate reaction as the Kecoughtan quarterback Jackson looks only to his right. Really probably could have faked over to the left side and maybe even gotten something out of that. There's the offense for the Warriors, and it changed tonight. You got actually Razon Jackson at quarterback. Jonathan Melvin starts at running back tonight. Andre Kemp, Marshall at tight end, Wilson also at tight end, and 2 receivers, Grandy, and you saw there, and Etheridge, and then, of course, Mitchell, Hubbard, Thompson. Samaj Harris hurt tonight. He's replaced in the lineup. John Tucker may be in. We may see Blake Brasher in as well. So a couple of injuries plaguing the Warriors.
Speaking of Etheridge, he gets the ball, and he fumbles it, picked up by Hampton. And they're going to go in and run in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Hampton.
That looked like Traquan Smith, wasn't it? 32?
Like 23. Couldn't get a number.
It was hard to see with it. Hampton wearing these dark jerseys. We'll see.
It's 22, actually. It's Groggins. Kareem Groggins, the 10th.
Or Groggins, I think.
I'm sorry,
we're going to go with.
The sophomore.
Yeah, nice pickup. Just picked it up and ran in. Really not challenged. So the Crabbers on the board first with 10:26 going the first quarter. Valenzuela in to do the kicking. There's the defense, but they've done their job. We'll get them next time.
What a quick turn of events early on, Frank. Valenzuela's kick is up, and it is good.
You know, Valenzuela's got a great leg, but he does take his time to get to that snap. So we'll see how he improves with his timing. But the Crabbers here, you'll see the ball down on the ground right there.
It looks like Etheridge never had the ball. And
no, barely had it.
Picked up and just easily gets in the end zone for Hampton. That was a quick, easy touchdown for the Crabbers.
Well, a frustrating start for the Warriors here. Let's see if they can do better on their second possession. We'll bring it back to the 40 of the Crabbers and kick it off. Valenzuela, he of the orange shoes, will be out there. Really one of the better kickers we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, him and Bethel's kicker, I'll let you.
Vashiakopoulos. John Vashiakopoulos, or John V.
John V, as they call him, are the 2 of the better kickers in the district.
We'll see Reese Robinson tonight too for Kecoughtan. See if he gets a chance to put his foot into one. So Valenzuela's going to measure himself there from the 40-yard line. Windy night tonight, blowing from, as you're watching home, from the right end of the field there to the left, from the east to the west. A little bit of that, the winds in the cold front that's actually keeping Hurricane Matthew away from us tonight, Will Bay.
Thought we were going to get it this weekend, but luckily we won't get much of it.
Keith Grandy.
Yeah, Grandy gets it at about the 2. He goes near side, cuts up the sideline. He's got some room. little stutter step, and he goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Keith Grandy, who has been special all year, with a nice return for Kecoughtan.
You know, each team has a couple of guys that are really special. Grandy certainly has been the standout for the Warriors all year long. Between he and the veteran Kecoughtan Nixon, I think have really played well. But you see him here. He just fools the entire side of the kick coverage team of Hampton. See, he just goes right and they go the wrong way.
Yes, nice cut.
He just ran by 5 guys, and the kicker actually, last man, he just avoided contact, ran out of bounds.
Awesome play. Kecoughtan Nixon behind Jackson. He goes to Nixon for maybe about a 2-yard gain.
I think you're going to see a lot of Kecoughtan Nixon tonight for the Warriors. That looked like, is that Tyreek Coleman on the stop there? Here's the offensive lineup. That's for the Crabbers. We're back with the Warriors. We need the.
So.
That may have been Joshua Volk on the tackle that time. 67, not 77.
Kecoughtan's line is no pushover either, Frank. They've got a decent sized line as well.
Our player of the game 2 games ago, George Mitchell.
That's right, the center. Jackson fakes, goes far side. He's looking to throw. It's complete to Grandy. Looks like he has enough for the first down at midfield.
It's going to be dependent on the spot. I think he may be just a fraction short. You're going to see a lot of Grandy, a lot of Kecoughtan Nixon. That's what we're going to see tonight on offense. No secret there.
And if you keep the young quarterback, moving, it makes it a lot easier for him to get down the field and get those playmakers the ball.
So a nice connection there by Jackson.
Really impressed with Jackson. He's young, but he's
a sophomore, 6'4", 160-pounder. So one of the lighter guys, but a tall quarterback.
Now Etheridge is in the backfield for the Warriors as Jackson goes under center.
That's our friend, Mr. Mitchell.
Oh, another fumble, but this time Jackson falls on it. Little exchange quarterback fumble on that one with Mitchell and Jackson, but Jackson was able to fall on the fumble.
Yeah, it's hard to see. Steve Fryer does a magnificent job, and if you get his camera shot of the defensive line for the Crabbers, you see Elijah Conliffe.
Yes, big guy.
Conliffe, and when he stands next to Mitchell, it's just it's a size difference, but Mitchell holds his own. He's going to stand right over top of Mitchell. Mitchell the center, Conliffe right down in front of him. And keep your eyes on that matchup. That'll be a tough one all night.
Jackson to Etheridge, and he's taken down, looks like by Jalen Powell, number 65.
It's a real good play by Powell. You saw Mitchell slow down Conliffe, but the problem with the Crabber line is you can't hold them all back.
And watch this. As soon as Etheridge got the ball, Powell was in the backfield, like he was in on the
very close
in the huddle on Kecoughtan.
Yeah, very close being a handoff too. Powell.
And again, Powell's dad played for Mike Smith at Hampton and back in the 80s.
Yeah, Jalen Powell, 65. Elijah Conliffe wears 55. Ezekiel Volk wears 75. Cameron Laporte on defense sometimes in with number 9. And then Tyreek Coleman, you'll see him number 77. So they have a variety of linemen, but the big 4 or 5 there stand out.
Oh, Jackson looks like he's in shotgun. He's going to pass. It's going to be incomplete.
That was to Kecoughtan's number 12. Jonathan Melvin. Melvin got a start as a quarterback early in the year and has been more of a receiver and a flanker and done a good job in that role for Coach Coley.
He's also been a running back, so they've moved him around, I guess trying to find a position for him. As that was 3rd down, Frank, it's going to be 4th and 19, and Kecoughtan's going to have to punt.
And this is Keith Grandy to do the punting. We see Coach Danny Mitchell, the longtime assistant coach for Mike Smith.
Also the baseball coach over there.
And a wonderful baseball coach.
Great program over there. So Grandy gets the punt. No pressure. He's gonna fake it. He's gonna get to the 45, but he's nowhere near enough for the first down.
No,
they threw a flag.
Just picked up the first down.
Oh.
Lead hit number 22 of the Crabbers. That's Greek Grogans, who hit a little bit late. And that's going to give the Warriors a first down.
Oh, man.
Well, we'll see how they call it. Do they get the ball or they take the 15?
Dead ball. Personal foul.
Dead ball call.
Hampton. 15 yards from the end of the run. The results, first down.
First down. Yeah, I thought with the dead ball maybe they would give it the Crabbers that move it back 15 yards.
Huge
but
play by Kecoughtan to get that ball back and keep it moving.
Well, the question I have is, did Grandy call that himself?
There wasn't much pressure, but it looks like Grandy saw something and decided to take off, and you can see he was nowhere near the first down. And
there's a late hit right there. Costly penalty.
Yeah.
And the Crabbers had trouble with penalties last week, and I know Mike Smith would like to get rid of that that problem.
Had a lot of penalties last week. As Kecoughtan regains the ball, look at the 38-yard line of Hampton. Karan Nixon in the backfield with Jackson under center. Goes to Nixon. He has room on the far side, cuts in. Hampton closes, but not before he gets a gain of, looks like 7.
It was a good run there by Nixon again, the veteran. Good block on the left side of the Warrior line that time. Crabbers will tend to shift around on the line. You'll see Conliffe often near the center, but then he'll swing to one side. Volk on the other. Powell, same thing. They'll move around up the front line. You see Mike Smith moving around as he does.
He's been moving around for 46 years as head coach at Hampton. Jackson, this time it goes to Etheridge, who's playing a lot of running back tonight, and he takes a big hit. That was Powell again on that tackle.
That was Melvin on the carry, too.
I'm sorry, Melvin, I apologize.
We got 32 and 12, but Melvin took the pop that time. I think Etheridge took a pop earlier.
Yeah,
That was
yeah, it was Melvin, yeah, and then you can see Powell.
Stick there, the feet, too. That was Grogan's again, coming in with the kind of, he's got to watch it. He's got one already. Here comes Mitchell up to the line, the center, wearing the pink wristband there.
Nice shot of him right there. It's 3rd and 4th and 32.
Conliffe right over top of him.
Jackson. This time Etheridge is behind him. And he's going to go to Etheridge. Etheridge gets it far side, has some room, but it looks like it was closed, but it looks like Etheridge got enough for the first down.
Well, that time
Tight
Grogan's
window as he slipped through there.
Nice block on Grogan's to open up the hole. The linemen were stopped. A lot of them got hit low and tried to just slow them down a little bit, and it worked. Beautiful run there by the Warriors.
Kecoughtan getting a little confidence and momentum on this drive as a big penalty kept the drive alive.
And apparently they're the only ones going to get the ball in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So yeah.
As you can hear the wind.
Actually been making a very pleasant evening here.
Nixon, another run up far side. Looks like he gains about, 6 or 7 yards on that run. So Nixon is the main ball carrier on this drive, Frank.
Well, the one thing about Nixon is he's a big back, and he can take the hard hit of the Crabber defense. And he's also the senior, so
yes.
he probably can spot a hole where one may not be so obvious.
Take a look at that Hampton defensive line as we have been talking about all season.
Well, so far the Warriors winning the battle in the pits right now.
So it's going to be 2nd and 6 from the 23. Kecoughtan driving. Jackson, this time he goes back to Etheridge. He goes far side, and he is hit hard.
Good tackle by the Crabber lineman coming down the line that time. That was the Crabber number 54, Juice Majet, who's got a play there and comes across and takes down the running back. No gain.
See a nice shot there by Steve Fryer. No gain. 3rd and 6 from the 21. 7-0 Hampton in the first quarter with 4:50 left. Jackson in the shotgun. Etheridge is in the backfield. Jackson, this time he looks near side. It's batted down by the Hampton defensive line.
Well, Grandy had double coverage, had drawn double coverage on the outside, so Melvin was doing the inside route, and he was open there, but the ball was not able to get over the line, the hands of the Crabber defenseman.
Let's see what Kecoughtan decides to do here. They're going to go for it on the 21, 4th and 6.
Well, they're trailing 7-0 here early in the first, and they're deep in Crabber territory.
See if they can capitalize on that penalty. 4:40 left in the first quarter. They have Xavier Marshall near side. He's the tight end. Jackson, Grandy goes in motion. Jackson, he's looking towards Grandy. Looks like it's a little screen pass to number 11 of Kecoughtan, that was a great play.
Wonderful play that time. A little confusion out there for the Crabber defense.
John Tucker Jr. Nice slip screen pass. It looked like a slant screen.
Second, 4th down pickup of the first down.
As you see, everybody was looking at Grandy on that one. He was sort of the decoy on that play.
Well, everybody here will look at Grandy. Grandy's the one to watch.
So the result is a first down for Kecoughtan. 1st and 10 from the 13. Quick snap. Etheridge near side is going to flag on the play. It's like a false start on Kecoughtan.
Prior to the snap,
penalties are really
false start. Offense.
They're really
5-yard
hurting on this.
penalty. and it remains first down.
Well, they've hurt all teams this
Yeah.
year, and we saw a lot of flags last week in the Hampton-Bethel game. That game goes into overtime.
Yeah.
But there were more flags. In fact, we were just, by the second half, we were calling it when there was no penalty. It was a little easier.
As you said, they should have just left the flags on the field and picked them up when there was.
Picked them up when there was something happening. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a 5-yard penalty for Kecoughtan. 1st and 15 from the 18 to the Hampton cheerleaders. This time Jackson's under center. It goes to Nixon, far side. They like that side, but great tackle.
That Conliffe
Made
on
by
the tackle.
Conliffe.
Yeah.
The highly recruited Division I prospect.
That may have been Powell. It's hard to 55 and 65, and these two guys they're little fellas. Elijah Conliffe, I'll give you his statistics here. Young man, 6'5", 300 pounds. Jalen Powell, 6'3", 275. Obviously, a cafeteria challenge for the Hampton High staff when these guys come in to eat.
This time Melvin's behind, and he gets the carry far side, and a host of crabbers knock him down.
Melvin with I thought the ball may have gone on the ground again. It looked like a little bit of a late decision to hand the ball off.
That time Coleman was in on the tackle for Hampton.
The breeze picking up here in the booth. We're watching the Hurricane Matthew come up the Florida coast today. Hope everybody down in Florida is safe.
Absolutely.
And then we'll see it on the Georgia coast tomorrow, Georgia, South Carolina coast, and then it's supposed to hook back and bash the Bahamas once again.
Yeah, that's a
So
shame.
our prayers go out to the Bahamians. They're going to see this storm twice.
Yeah.
But good weather here in Hampton tonight. Actually had a little blue sky.
Great day today.
Timeout. Kecoughtan.
So Kecoughtan calls a timeout with 2:38 left in the first quarter. 7-0 Hampton. 3rd and 11 from the 14 is what Kecoughtan is faced with.
Well, we can tell a little bit about the Kecoughtan offense. They're going to the veterans. They're going to some basic plays.
Yes.
And they're just trying to do the best they can with this big line of Hampton, and so far so good.
Etheridge, the senior, Nixon, the senior, Grandy, the senior, have all touched the ball. And
then the sophomore quarterback trying to orchestrating this, what they hope to be an upset. The touchdown on the board for the Crabbers was a fumble return for a touchdown. So the Crabber staff there having a few discussions.
Great history and tradition at Hampton. I mean,
it's in football and in Hampton, in the city of Hampton, synonymous. Programs involve a lot of people. You were mentioning the Hampton High cheerleaders, the young ladies and gentlemen that get out there and work just as hard as the players. They're out there in August doing the same thing in the same heat.
Yep, same heat. That's
Same
right.
with the band, and it's a great way to involve all these kids in Hampton High School.
So 3rd and 11 from the 14. Jackson looking to pass. It's almost intercepted.
That was
like
Crabber's number 7.
It's like it was Cole on
Yeah, Michael Cole, who you saw during the national anthem wearing the pink eye black.
Yeah. So he was in on that play, almost an interception. So it's going to be 4th down.
I think his arm maybe hit that time.
Yeah.
Jackson, as a young quarterback, has a problem that's common to young quarterbacks, which is he's going to look to where he's going to go. Mike Smith's got the cap turned around already, so not happy with his performance so far of his team.
Reese Robinson's kick is up, and it looks like it's no good.
No good. It just had the distance. He was kicking into the wind, and that wind, which is blowing really out of the northeast, that far corner there on your screen in the upper right corner, and that ball went right with the breeze and was wide right. So nothing for Kecoughtan other than a very good drive, and I think Coach Coley's got to be pleased with that performance there, especially after the early touchdown for the Crabbers.
Very pleased with that. Like you said earlier, they got the seniors involved and moved the ball down the field, just not able to get any points on that drive.
Well, here come the Crabber offense. We haven't seen them yet with 2:29 to go in the first. It's DJ Nunn under center, number 12.
Like he's got Newsom and Smith in the backfield, and he goes to, looks like that's Daz Newsom to start it off, and he gets a great run on 1st down. Daz Newsom.
If the viewers don't know, Daz Newsom really one of the stars of the league, probably one of the best players in the state, and certainly one of the fastest. I was telling Wu Bei just last week, so that you've got flash on your team, you're in good shape. And you see how quick he comes through the hole there. Karan Nixon, of course, on the tackle as he plays linebacker. I don't think Nixon leaves the field all night.
And that Newsome name is very familiar, even though I forgot who Daz Newsome was in the Open. He has a brother at Virginia Tech who played here, and his dad also played here and at Virginia Tech. So he's another Newsome in line here at Hampton. As he gets the ball again, he goes near side. He breaks a couple arm tackles, and he's going to get a big gain. Looks like he's going to go out at the 50-yard line.
Well, it's a good tackle out there by John Tucker, just to able to cut off Newsome. But as you see, he just cranks up the speed. And, you know, Tucker fortunately had a couple of yards on him. Otherwise, he was going to get around the corner. He was gone. There was nobody out, with the exception of probably a Grandy, that could catch him.
Yeah, Grandy would have caught him out there. But, again, we said this last week, Frank. Bronco Mendenhall, Justin Fuente, please.
Yes, come
give
down
this guy an opportunity. This guy is amazing as you see that run.
Well, at Hampton High's Marcus Higgins, who's on Mendenhall staff in Charlottesville.
Come on down here, Marcus, and check him out. DJ Nunn in the shotgun. This time he goes to Smith, who's I guess, the fullback on that play. And he gets a gain of 5. So
Traquan Smith is a guy we expect a lot out of. We saw him last week. I thought he played very well when he got the ball, but Hampton was spreading things around a lot.
It was that same play, like fullback dive, it looks like they're going to use a lot of tonight.
And Smith with the multicolored towel. Newsome a little taller with the pink socks all the way up to his knees tonight.
You see DJ Nunn coming into the huddle. The transfer from Ward. He's the senior. They also might bring in Cam Stevenson, who's also a transfer. He transferred from Kecoughtan, number 1.
Of course, we saw Stevenson play a lot of different positions last week and very strong defensive presence.
Nunn goes back to Newsome. Good cut by Newsome. Oh, then he cuts outside. He cuts back inside. He's still on his feet. Great run by Daz Newsome.
Well, that's almost like taking stairs.
I take that back. That wasn't Newsome. That was number 11. Anthony Cumby. I apologize. The numbers are hard to read, but that was Cumby, it looked like. Was that?
No, that's
I'm sorry,
Newsome.
that was Newsome. I'm sorry.
You see him go forward until he hits resistance, then go right, and then go down forward again.
Numbers are really hard to read, so we apologize if we hesitate a little bit on these numbers.
Another good run by Newsome.
1st and 10 from the 30. Newsome again in the backfield. He gets the pitch, cuts it inside off the pitch, and he is tackled by number 23 on Kecoughtan.
Keyshawn Harris with the stop, but what a good explosion into the backfield. I think it was Harris as well. There's a good shot of the line, which, again, for the Crabbers, most of those guys play both ways. So guys like Conliff doesn't come out very often. And Mitchell for the Warriors, the same.
He plays center and nose guard. Got Xavier Marshall filling in for Nathan Persinger, who was out with an MCL injury, as Coach Coley told us before the game. Nunn goes back to Newsome. This is the Newsome show on this drive. And he gets, looks like a gain of 4. Going to be close to a first down, maybe a yard or 2 short.
Good run that time, but right up the middle, going right down the line, and that's going to end the first quarter. You'll see it here. A good line play by both teams. Newsome able to find what was a hole there, not much of one. And there's Marshall wrapping him up.
You notice we're seeing Newsome more running back this year. Last year he was more the wide out and the flanker, but you see him in the backfield a lot more this year.
Well, the one thing we've seen, Wube, for all the Hampton teams so far is that they are desperate to get the ball in the hands of the stars. And each team has 2 or 3 guys that you can legitimately call stars, and trying to get the ball to Newsome, get the ball to Smith. For Kecoughtan, you want to get in Grandy's hands. There was a time where I thought they might go the direct snap. We may see that tonight because Bethel was successful in getting it in the hands of Jeremiah Owusu last week.
With the direct snap. And Mondo Walker, right?
Correct.
That's correct, yeah.
And, in fact, taking a guy like Walker, who had not been much of a running back, had not played that position much, but was a talented athlete, just get him the ball. And it worked last week, tied the game up against the Crabbers in the second half, and then lost a very close ball game in overtime. In a last play where we understood Newsome had the ball, but it could have been one of any 11 Crabbers.
Exactly. Like a bunch formation, and just pushed him in.
We're going to try to hear from Coach Smith. Well, we did hear from Coach Smith that he's looking a little more cohesiveness from his lines this week. Because these guys, they're the biggest. We heard from him last week. The biggest group he's had. They're still working together.
Still a work in progress. Nunn. This time goes to Smith. Near side, he cuts it. He does a hurdle move.
He leaps into the arms of his teammate. So
first down for Hampton.
Michael Cole on the tackle of his teammate. No, he actually just caught him as he leaped over there. Marshall down, which
they can't afford any more injuries.
they're running out of guys over there. If you look at the sideline.
He's actually playing for an injured player. Persinger is Xavier Marshall.
And Samaj Harris out,
Harris
too.
is out, yeah.
So hopefully this is nothing serious. See the play
Smith,
here.
Yeah. Good cut by Smith.
That's Marshall trailing the play.
The Edwin Moses move, and then you're right. Cole did make the tackle, his
Yep.
own teammate. Great tackle.
And Marshall lands on, I think, ankle.
Yeah.
And twisted the ankle. Well, Coach Coley's done a good job of putting the Band-Aids on these guys and trying to fill spots, but I think he's going to have to find another lineman. And we've seen Marshall move in the tight end spot tonight.
And another young player for Kecoughtan. He's a sophomore, and it just doesn't look.
And it's another sophomore there next to him, George Mitchell, 55. We talk about Mitchell all the time, 5'9", 255. And just a sophomore. So a lot of young talent over Kecoughtan. And there's Alan Bieber, our intern.
He's actually a Kecoughtan student, a volleyball player for Kecoughtan.
Well, Marshall's still down, checking that ankle. And nothing worse than a sprained ankle. I mean, sprained plenty of ankles.
Yes, me
it's
too.
probably less painful to break it than it is to sprain it.
Yeah, I think so.
But he's down and being looked at now. Hopefully he'll be able to get up. I'm not sure he'll be able to play. That is the way he's showing.
He's sitting up now.
Well, the Warriors would like to get a stop here. They've given up a cheapy touchdown on that fumble recovery that the Crabbers picked up, swooped in the end zone. So they'd like to get a stop here.
When the offense looked good with Nixon and Grandy and Etheridge, and as you see, Marshall.
No weight on that
right ankle.
Yeah, I hate to see it because, again, I know Coach Coley, we were over there several weeks ago looking at he did have some numbers, but not quite the numbers he's had. And with the injuries, it's just been a very tough time.
And then you get younger because you're putting young players in those positions.
Right. Well, in 2 years, we'll be talking about how Mitchell has grown into this beast at the center and all-district center and all-district nose guard.
And then Jackson at quarterback as well.
Right.
So it takes time. It takes time, and hopefully Kecoughtan can get it together. But right now they face a deficit of 7-0 in the second quarter, 1st and 10 from the 11.
Like Chandler Perry's come in, number 64, to take the place of Marshall. Another sophomore. Good view there from Steve Pryor's field camera. You see Conliffe.
Nunn's going to pass this time, and it's almost picked off.
Well, actually almost thrown into the hands of Keyshawn Harris.
Nice play, and he's a sophomore as well, Frank. So it just goes down the line of sophomores, but Nunn stared down Newsome, and Harris was over there to make the stop.
And he threw it into a crowd.
Oh, man, Harris, good break on the ball by Harris.
Etheridge almost picked it off right before it hit the surface.
Just amazing how many
Ruling on the
sophomores.
field, backwards pass, Kecoughtan recovered the backwards pass. 1st and 10.
It's a
turnover
fumble.
for Kecoughtan.
It's a lateral.
Yeah.
And falling on by Etheridge fell on that. So he's made up for the fumble he had over here. He just picked up the ball here. So Kecoughtan gets the stop they hope to get.
Wow. Good play. Good awareness by Kecoughtan to fall on the ball to keep play to the
He
whistle.
throws it from the middle there, the second hash mark. Yeah, that's a backwards
that's a
pass.
lateral, and Etheridge fell on it.
Etheridge, number 32, Najee Etheridge, a senior, 5'8", 180. Sounds so small when you got these linemen, but Etheridge has been right in the middle of everything tonight for the Warriors.
Sure has. So, one turnover apiece as Kecoughtan gets it at their own 15, 1st and 10. Looks like we're going to see that direct snap that we were talking about earlier, Frank, with Grandy. He's going to get the direct snap. And he goes far side. He has some blockers, but Hampton is there as he tries to cut back inside, but he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just no room at the end for Grandy that time. As he's able to get maybe he lost only a couple yards that time.
It was Gaskins on the pursuit on the tackle with a couple of his buddies on the other side to help bring down Grandy.
You know, we had Marshall starting at tackle tonight, wasn't he, for Harris? And
now Marshall goes out, and then, of course, they lost Persinger, who's a two-way player as well.
So a couple new faces for the Warriors. Let's see if they can pull it together. They had a good offensive drive going last time.
The loss of 3, 2nd and 13.
Etheridge that time, I believe, met by the Crabber defense, all but 4 of them.
Yeah. Like that was number 30.
It was. They're running some new guys, new faces in here. And we keep track of the numbers. They've had a lot of number changes with the injuries, so we'll do our best to keep up with who that is.
Looks like that was Daquan Williams.
Daquan
Who
Williams.
was just added to the roster not too long ago, but he gets the carry. As it's 3rd and 10 from the 15, 10-20 in the second quarter. Jackson, looks like it goes to Etheridge on this play. Good run by Etheridge.
Nice tackle out there by the Crabbers. Number 5, Dez Newsome.
Dez Newsome
Had to
on the
stick his
tackle.
head in there and make the tackle, but a real good run. The Warriors are showing some real ability to pick up big yards on the later downs. They need to do that on the 1st and 2nd down. Now it's 4th and about 3.5, maybe 4.
So Grandy will come in to punt. He's going to punt to Daz Newsome, where Daz is at about the 45-yard line.
Really the most exciting player right now
yeah.
in the Peninsula District is Daz Newsome, especially on these returns.
I think him and Owusu from Bethel
Right.
have been really, really impressive this year.
Well, the one thing Grandy doesn't want to do is punt it too far.
Yeah.
I know that sounds bad, but you don't want to give him a lot of run up.
It's actually a good punt. Newsome touches it, but it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, not well read by Daz that time.
He wanted to make a play, but it just, luckily for him, it went out of bounds, and it's going to be at the 42-yard line of Hampton.
Here comes the Hampton offense for only the 2nd time. We'll see if they can move the ball again. They were moving it against the Warriors and had the backwards pass, the fumbled lateral, technically. Picked up by the Warriors. Warriors not able to do anything with it. 1st and 10 Crabbers from their own 42.
DJ Nunn still at quarterback. Newsome and Smith in the backfield. Nunn.
This is the lineup I like with Smith. He's going to lead the way.
Newsome, as he squirts through the defense and picks up about 7 or 8 yards on that run.
Smith with a really good block on Karan Nixon. But another Warrior down on the field.
Oh, man.
Timeout.
Looks like that
Injury
was
timeout.
Keyshawn Harris. That's the player who had helped out with that turnover earlier. But
Let's
look
see if
at
he can catch it
Newsome.
here. Puts his head in and just got ran
just
over
got
and
ran
maybe got
over.
hit up under the chin.
Yeah.
Because he took his helmet off when he hit the ground. Trainer's out. So Kecoughtan is.
Oh, man. Yeah, they're running out of bodies here,
Yep.
Frank.
So they're going to be tending to young Mr. Harris. Keyshawn Harris, 6 foot, 185 pounder. Looks like he just got caught with the helmet right up underneath the chin strap. In comes number 14, Shane Stouch, a sophomore. 5'9", 165 pounder. He's going to come in.
Another sophomore. This is amazing.
Well, I think eventually they're going to get down to Nixon, Grandy, and all the sophomores.
Yeah.
But, one thing about doing that, you pick up a lot of experience this year
Right. Yeah.
playing as a unit.
That's right.
In other words, they're not coming in and mixing it up. It looks like Harris is going to be all right. He's going to have to sit out of play.
As you said, I think Newsome just basically ran him over, and he got hit under the chin strap.
Unusual spot to get hit, but it was just the angle there.
I mean, he was there for the tackle. It just
sacrifice
wrong position, yeah.
Well, that's good news for the Warriors. But
They walk
Stouch
off.
gets to stay and play. Number 14 is on your right side of the screen there, coming up to the line.
He's 2nd and 3 at the 49.
Now you got to wonder if the Crabbers spot the new cover guy.
Nunn. Goes to Smith. He goes far side. He cuts out. There's a good stiff arm on Tucker. I'm sorry, Melvin. Yeah, it was John Tucker. But he gets a first down. Great play by Traquan Smith of Hampton on that run.
I thought Burnell Pulley had a real fine block out there in the end to let Smith get by him too. He was held up his man beautifully and let Smith pick whether to go in or out. You'll see Pulley at the top of your screen there. You see his shoes. And then you're going to see Smith. Right there's the block.
Nice.
Nice block on Kecoughtan's number 45, Rayon White.
Nunn. It goes to Daz Newsome far side, and he does a spin move and gets away from Tucker, but Melvin takes him out of bounds. Great play by Daz Newsome.
Newsome makes something out of nothing that time.
We would call that the B button, Frank.
Boy, that's
video game.
The spin was unreal.
Great move by Daz Newsome as he eluded some Kecoughtan defenders to get, it's like a pickup of 5. So it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 39.
Well, the one thing the Crabbers been doing is picking up a good chunk of yardage on first down. They may see them open up the offense a little bit here.
So Nunn is under center. Smith and Newsome again in the backfield. This time he pitches to Newsome. He cuts it inside, and he gets almost, looks like he got about 3 on that play.
Yeah, Karan Nixon with yet another tackle. Nixon has such good basic defensive skills. You watch number 7 there for the Warriors. Watch him wrap up players in the legs. That's a real fine tackling method and obviously very successful.
Oh, yeah, he's had a great year.
Well, we've seen him more than most this year. This is the 3rd game we've broadcast of Kecoughtan, and we've been impressed with Karan Nixon in this defensive role, in this senior spot where he's coming in and adding that leadership.
Well, he didn't play offense that much early on. He's mostly a defensive player, so we've been used to seeing him play linebacker for most of the season. He just got inserted into the offensive side,
and it's been the second half of games where he's really asserted himself.
So we've seen this before from Karan Nixon, who's having a great season for the Warriors.
Good to see Keyshawn Harris back in, number 23 there, the bottom right of your screen.
Nunn is in the shotgun with Smith. 3rd and 13 from the 33. It goes to Smith. He breaks a tackle. It goes up the middle. He gets a first down for Hampton. Great run by Traquan Smith.
Well, that's like just going sideways between the dumpster and the wall of the building that time. You see him just slid right through and picks up the first down. I really like Smith.
I do too.
And he's having to fight for the ball with his own teammates. Watch him turn sideways right there.
Nice move,
slip through. Nice grab on there by Kecoughtan, number 73.
Skylar Wilson, who
wearing 73 with first time
tonight. Exactly. Nunn this time is in shotgun. Goes back to Smith, but it's a flag on the play. Looks like Hampton might have moved a little too early.
I'm going to say the motion of the Kecoughtan front threw Hampton off that time.
Prior to the snap. False start.
So as soon as I say something about the first down yardage, they
still first down.
Surrender 5 on the penalty. It's 1st and 15 now. A little motion there as the Kecoughtan line shifted away from the screen.
See Kevin Davis. Everybody's on their phone on the sideline.
They're all standing together. I wonder who they're talking to. And Alvis Mann.
Alvis Mann.
Yeah, long-time assistant coach at Hampton High School.
Kevin Davis and Mike Trevis, who will be our halftime guest.
Very good. Looking forward to having Mike up here.
Yep. AD at Hampton High School.
We'll grill him a little bit. Always good to talk to the athletic directors of the schools.
So 1st and 15 from the 29. Nunn this time goes back to Smith, and he gets a big hole up the middle.
And the real saving tackle was Keith Graney there at his feet. But Smith that time didn't have to go sideways. He could have driven a small car through that hole.
Chandler Perry also on a tackle. He's also a sophomore for the Warriors. So the beat goes on as far as sophomores making plays for Kecoughtan. But look at the run by Smith.
Good trap that time. They got 77 Nico Thompson out to go to his left, and Smith went back behind him and able to pick up all of about 14 yards.
See the cheerleaders working hard, and Smith this time done. It looks like Nunn kept it on this one. Fake to Smith, and Nunn on the quarterback keeper.
Nunn 6'1", 188-pounder, so no small fella himself.
That's enough for a first down. So looks like it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11.
So they get a first down, but without getting a touchdown, but that would not satisfy Mike Smith. He'll take both. What a beautiful camera work tonight. Susan Bowers up top with Nate Braxton. And, of course, Steve Fryer on the field. And the camera work is fantastic. Steve's put his camera down just so he's going off to show you what good shape this field's in.
Oh, yeah. Nunn under center. Daz Newsome gets the ball on the far side. Good move by Daz Newsome as he basically tiptoes in the end zone. Touchdown Hampton.
Newsom with the side step to his left. You know, I think he's got a future with Dancing with the Stars out there because what footwork.
What kind of dance would you call that? I mean, that was.
The side step was tremendous.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, great play by Daz Newsom. Makes it look so easy.
That was John Tucker out there.
Yeah.
Thought he had him, and then he just sidestepped him. See
right here, this cut right there. Yeah, that was it. And good block
right
there.
That's number 10 for the Crabbers. Jaquarius Bellamy with a nice block. Here's Valenzuela with a kick.
The kick is up, and it looks like it's good.
Valenzuela certainly is a patient man.
He waits until the last minute to kick it.
He likes to have that ball set and perfectly lined up by the holder.
Well,
so the Crabbers put another touchdown on the board. They move ahead 14-0 with 5:39 to go here in the second quarter. But we certainly haven't seen any overwhelming offensive firepower from the Crabbers yet. They've moved the ball consistently, gave the first drive up on the turnover that time, got down in the red zone, endured the little 5-yard penalty, but were able to put it in behind Smith and Newsom.
It looks like both teams are going to rely on the run more than the pass. You saw Kecoughtan going to Nixon, Etheridge, and Grandy. And as you just said, Hampton went basically with Newsom and Smith on their last drive. So
Hampton 4-1 coming in. They're one loss to the Heritage Hurricane.
Yep.
And then Heritage the next week probably got beaten by the Bethel Bruins, who Hampton beat in overtime last week. So it's a little bit of a round-robin situation in the Peninsula District.
Hard to figure out.
But with the new system where most every school gets in the playoffs, we could do a 30-minute show on that, Wu Bay, about how we can just skip the regular season and go to the playoffs.
Everybody gets in anyway, so.
The short kick by Valenzuela.
Oh, looks like it's Etheridge on the kick. I mean on the return.
Nice tackle by the Crabbers, number 47. 47?
See Etheridge running back.
No, 42. Excuse me. That's Jerome Woody with the tackle.
Kecoughtan back on offense. Let's see if they can muster a drive that put some points on the board. 5:35 left in the second quarter. 14-0 Hampton. Here at a gorgeous night at Darling Stadium in Hampton.
It is. It has been. We're very fortunate here with the cold front moving through. The temperature's supposed to be in the high 60s tomorrow night. We're a little muggy, high 70s, low 80s right now. Actually, much cooler this morning. Very pretty this morning.
Oh yeah.
With this cold front meeting the tropical system moving up the coast, it's gonna protect us from the tropical. The heavy stuff from Hurricane Matthew and provide us this beautiful Friday night.
Jackson, high snap. Going to pass to Grandy. Grandy's open, surprisingly. It looks like he stepped out of bounds.
Well, good move by Grandy to avoid the tackle of Jaquarius Bellamy.
So now Kecoughtan is going back to the passing game with Jackson finding Grandy on that first down play.
Well, Grandy and, of course, Nixon, the guys you want to get the ball in the hands of. But it's good to see Razan Jackson make such a nice throw that time. And a good-looking quarterback. Tall, good, left-handed.
6'4", 160 sophomore. As we saw earlier in the season, Kecoughtan was shuffling quarterbacks. I think they found their man in Jackson. This time, Etheridge gets the ball. Was that Karan Nixon?
Maybe Nixon, whoever it is, wasn't thankful.
Yeah.
As he got the ball just about the time the Crabber line got him. So not much there.
Karan Nixon on that carry.
Not sure Earl Campbell could have picked up a yard on that play. Crabbers had owned the offense or the line of scrimmage.
So 3rd and 4 from the 38 for the Warriors. This time Nixon goes out to the receiver position. He's near side. It's like Andre Kemp is in the backfield with Jackson. Jackson, shotgun. Going to look near side. It's going to be incomplete. Intended for number 11, but a flag is down. That pass is intended for John Tucker Jr., but there is a flag. A late flag. Yes, sir. A late flag.
A late flag, but a flag nevertheless. Mike Smith all the way out in the field. Mike just right in the middle of it right now.
Pass interference on Hampton is the call.
Yeah, a late call, and that always makes it tough. It may have been interference.
Defense, pass interference, 15 yards from
Bellamy
the
had to go right through his hands. I thought Jaquarius was going to be able to pick that up. would have been brought back, but I know you like to hang on to it. Let's see, the receiver right here, bottom left, just got it.
Almost looked like it was
close.
tipped, but I don't
yeah,
know.
very close. Call on the Crabbers, number 40, wasn't it? Gant. So first down for the Warriors in Crabber territory.
Jackson. Going to look to pass again. It's incomplete. That's intended for number 87, Troy Perkins, another sophomore, 6'1", 170.
Well, Perkins began the night in the third row, but he's made his way to the field.
They told him to suit up and get on the field.
Yeah. I really got to commend Alonzo Coley, what he's done this year. I know it's tough. It is always tough in the Peninsula District, and you can tell me how many different divisions and conferences and all that hooey from the VHSL, but the fact is the Peninsula District is where it matters. When you come in 1 in 5 in the district, it's tough.
Very tough.
But he is making the most of it and finding some new talent.
Young talent, too. This time Etheridge gets the ball in the handoff. He's still on his feet, but whistle's blown.
Etheridge, excuse me,
That was Williams. I'm sorry. Williams on the run for Kecoughtan. So many different players going in and out.
We're seeing DeJuan Williams.
Yep.
Sophomore. We just guessing sophomore. He's not on our opening day roster.
No. As you see, he stayed on his feet. He's a powerful back. 3rd and 8 from the 45 for Kecoughtan.
Student body left.
That's right. Etheridge in the backfield. Jackson.
Only had 6 men up on the line. So.
Etheridge. Oh, what a hit by number 2, Avery Singleton. I'm sorry, that's not Avery Singleton. That's number 2. That's Travion Davis.
Well, Davis with the pop.
Oh, what a hit.
When it's going to come back, there was only 6 Warriors on the line with all those receivers. One of them was supposed to step up, and he did not.
You see.
We'll see the referee try to get the.
And watch Davis come in here with this hit.
6 men on the line of
Still
scrimmage.
didn't knock him down.
Offense. That
stayed on his
penalty
feet.
is declined. 4th down.
Declined the penalty, make it 4th down, but that's a good run by Etheridge. Etheridge has played very well tonight, as has Grandy, as has Nixon.
Again, the talent is there for Kecoughtan. It's just young talent, and not having any varsity experience doesn't help.
Well, and playing a team that's ranked in. Let's go through the divisions.
The 5A South, or West, or North. Randy with the punt, almost blocked. He gets it off.
Great punt.
Daz Newsom gets it at about the 4. And this is where he's dangerous, folks. He has the ball at the 10. He cuts up. He has room. If he can get the outside, he can take a chance to go. He cuts inside. He has an opportunity to go all the way, folks. The 45, the 40, little high step, cuts back inside. He's showing off, folks. Look at this run. And he is tackled at the 25-yard line. What a play by Daz Newsom. And again, coaches in the state of Virginia, please sign this man. This man is electrifying, as we just saw on that play.
Well, I think we saw about every move you could possibly make
what a play.
As a kick returner. What a magnificent! That's a show-off tape. Where's the crowd that send that video on whatever they use today? He goes left, cuts back to the right. And he's got the right sideline, takes that, dances it to the left. Now he goes back to the left. Gets a little blocking, waits.
And this is where it gets.
He's going to spin back, go the other way. Now he's going to run backwards, see if he can come around the other side. Impressive.
Smith goes up the middle.
Good power run by Smith. Picks up a few yards, but the Kecoughtan line not having to watch for Newsom. I think, did Newsom get a break?
If he did, it's the first I've ever seen him get a break. As Stevenson, I think, came in for him. Cam Stevenson, the junior, number 1. After that run, I guess he needed a break on that long.
Well, I thought for a minute Daz was going to run over and go to the sideline, get a drink of water on that run, and go on back in.
What a play. Daz Newsom.
A little confusion on getting the line in, the players in.
It's like Davis for Hampton just came in at the last minute.
Travion Davis.
He goes in the backfield. Smith behind Davis. It goes to Smith, far side. He cuts outside and stays on his feet. Good tackle
Yeah, but great run. Nice angle. Daniel Austin on the tackle for the Warriors. Number 5. 5 or was it 9?
It's 5. Looks like
Andre
5.
Kemp.
Daniel Austin, you're right.
But good run by Smith. You could see it perfectly from the booth as he just aimed right at the flag and able to pick up the first down.
Looks like it's 2:20 left, second quarter. 14-0 Hampton is.
We see Daz Newsome come back in.
Comes back in as Stevenson comes out.
He ran so hard his socks fell down. Pink socks only halfway up his calves now. Daz Newsome doesn't look on the screen. He's much smaller than he is in real life. You and I saw him last couple weeks ago, and he spent a few minutes in the weight room.
Just a little bit. This time it's a
Reverse.
reverse.
And that caught everybody off guard.
Keontae Stith is in the end zone. Touchdown Hampton on reverse. Great play by Hampton as Stith gets the pylon and gets in.
Well, you send Newsome in after a little breather there on the return, and then you fake it to Newsome. And the Kecoughtan defense has got to respect that fake.
Yep.
And this time it's Stith that's able to go around the corner there. Keontae Stith, 5'9", 168-pounder. He's a senior. Very senior-heavy team for the Crabbers.
Yeah, especially on the line.
And the senior kicker, Jesus Valenzuela, 6'1", 170-pounder. Out of the hold of Newsome.
It's up.
Valenzuela that time with
It's
the
good.
and they have a T-square to measure that thing to be sure it was upright. But he's a very patient kicker.
Yes.
Newsome gets the thing lined up for him perfectly. Of course, the one thing about a bad snap with Newsome is the holder.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the reverse.
Oh, nice. And again, they're following Newsome. And look
one
at those
eye.
blockers. Look, cut lift.
I'm glad, Wube, you told us it was Stith because everybody's eyes were following Newsome.
Newsome, yeah.
You know, he's one of those guys, when you watch him on TV, you follow him off screen,
Right.
just assuming he's over there.
Not this time. Stith gets the call and gets the touchdown. 21-0 Hampton, Frank. 2:12 left in the half.
Well, 2 good offensive drives for the Crabbers after a so-so first that ended in the turnover. But that time, very patient offense by the Crabbers. And, of course, Newsome gives them some real good position there with the run back.
Looks like Kecoughtan is calling a timeout from what it looks like here, Frank.
Well, they could be a meet and greet where they just go over and introduce themselves to each other.
Yeah, I mean,
Kecoughtan.
But nothing wrong with these defensive sets of the Warriors.
they're just young. I mean, we look down the roster. Every time we turn around, a sophomore makes a play, a sophomore comes in. I mean,
And with the guidance of Nixon and Grandy.
yeah.
So 2:12 to go here in this first half. 21-0 Hampton Crabbers lead the Kecoughtan Warriors as each coach is going to talk to the squad on what is a glorious night. You and I talk a lot about where the students are. Let's get out of here now. We got a big game next week, Hampton Phoebus.
Great game.
2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. We expect these stands full. So students, this is where you want to make your Saturday afternoon plans, right here at Darling Stadium.
I expect a great game next week.
Well, you know, one thing you expect here, Beth Mayer runs the stadium. She's got a great concession staff here. I want to commend them. So many of them have been here forever. And they come out and they work hard in those hot concession stand rooms. But there's great food here at Darling. Great, not a bad seat at the house. Good music. We got the Hampton band getting ready to go on the field. The cheerleaders are active. It's just a wonderful time to get out to Darling Stadium, spend an evening with your family. A short kick by Valenzuela.
Etheridge again at the 20, and he's tackled at about the 28, 29-yard line.
Najee Etheridge, a senior, so we're going to have to lump him in there with Grandy and with Nixon. As the three of them have really they've carried the ball literally for the Warriors so far. And let's see if Jackson can. Jackson's showing improvement tonight. What do you think, Wube? He's a tall young man, and we're seeing him start to look around a little bit, check a couple of receivers, and see who's open.
I like Jackson.
Oh,
again, he's young, and the main thing for him is to get. They have to get Grandy the ball again, like we've been saying the last few weeks. And you know, unfortunately, they don't have enough experience on the other side to help Grandy out. So Jackson is just looking, you know, for Grandy and Etheridge to make plays.
So the Warriors of Woodland Road out here on offense, facing the Beast at Queen Street, kicking the Hampton Crabbers.
All right, Jackson. Like they're running the I formation in a flag.
Too much time.
Prior to the snap. Delayed
So
game.
not too many penalties here in the first half. Both
5-yard
teams have
penalty.
cleaned up their act.
Remains first down.
Every penalty hurts, but I think we had 20 last week between
that's
Hampton and
just-
Bethel,
just
and
too
that was
many.
before overtime.
Yeah, too many flags last week. Great game, however, but too many flags. All right, Jackson under center. That's going to be 1st and 15 from the 25. Jackson. Good stop by Hampton.
Well, a real good stop by Hampton because
Looks
that
like
was
Nixon
a pretty
was on that
good-looking
carry.
play. We'll see who at the bottom of the pile is. That's number 70, Justin Red.
Yeah, and Nixon was on the carry, and he got the run of that storm.
Well, running at Red's like running at a mountain. I think I would leave him alone. Justin Red is in some ways been overshadowed by Conliffe and some of but the man is. I would just run the other way. Maybe it's his gravity that pulls him toward him, but they don't get by him.
You're right, with Red, Powell,
And Volk.
And Volk. Jackson. He's going to fake it. He's going to keep himself, and that was not a good idea.
Yeah, right. Nico Thompson and Justin Red really just
Timeout.
showed you what it's like
Hampton.
to play the line for these two teams. Maybe we can play that one back because Thompson, number 77 for the Warriors, 70 in the black is Justin Red, and the matchup on the line on this side of the line, right here. Look at the two of them.
Wow, man.
That is just a battle.
Yeah.
And there was time there, but fortunately for the Crabbers at least, they were able to slip inside Jerome Woody. Wasn't it 42?
Yeah.
Make the
Making
tackle.
the tackle, yeah. So timeout Hampton. Sorry, timeout Kecoughtan, and the 21-0 deficit, Frank. 1:11 left in the half.
Nico Thompson, a junior, so another young man they'll have back next year.
And Coach Coley said that's one of his best linemen. So.
And he is. And when that was a real good stand-up, neither one, that's the unstoppable force and immovable object that time.
So Kecoughtan facing a 3rd and 19 from the 21.
And here they come. There's the Warrior cheerleaders. They're doing their work over there, getting a small but a vocal crowd from Kecoughtan tonight. It's a night where all week long they scare us to death about the warnings
weather,
about
right.
this, and then it comes out. This is the place to be on Friday night. It couldn't be a cooler spot with a breeze here.
Feels great out here. All right, Jackson goes back to Nixon. Nixon gets the ball, takes another hard hit.
Well, that was just man
like
to
Red,
man right there, Red and Nixon.
Red, yep. Justin Red on the tackle.
Timeout.
Wow, I enjoy watching that.
Hampton.
Wube, we've had some good ball games.
Yeah.
We saw a real good ball game last week. This one I think has been a pretty good game. I mean, yeah, it's 21-0. You had the one fumble, so really a 14-0. Let's just call it that for now. But Crabbers are showing a lot of patience on offense that we haven't. We didn't see in the first drive. We didn't see a lot in the second half last week, but they've improved this week.
Yeah, I mean, seeing Newsome in the backfield is a surprise. They haven't used him out as a receiver yet tonight. So Newsome and Smith have been getting most of the carries in the backfield. Haven't seen none throw the ball as much, so that's surprising. But being versatile as an offense is what Hampton is about, and they're trying to mix in the running game tonight.
And of course, if you're looking down a few weeks to the playoffs, and you're thinking about playing Hampton, that's going to scare you to death. That Newsome can play essentially anywhere out there, but if you put him in the backfield, you're giving the Crabbers with Smith back there, you don't know what's coming at you.
And as you see on special teams, is where he's at his best, and this is where he's ready to receive now. As Robinson actually is the punter this time around, and he gets a punt, and he kicks it out of bounds, which was a good play by Reese Robinson, the punter, in for Grandy.
Not a great spot for Robinson. I think he got a couple more yards than that. He was walking that one down the line like Daz Newsome does. But that ball was going to walk down the line. Real good punt. You don't want to give Newsome room. You almost want to punt it a little shorter so your coverage can get down there and cover.
So Hampton with the ball at the 37. Let's see if they try to punch one in or sit on it. With 1 minute.
I don't think they're going to sit on it. And I think it'd be nice to see if Mike Smith lets Nunn loose a little bit on the passing game.
Kind of like what they did last week when the time expired.
on his
to the
red.
half.
Red blocking out the huddle. Can't see him, but there's 10 guys behind him.
Nunn in the shotgun. Newsome behind him. Look, Stevenson's near side, and Pulley goes in motion. He pitches this to Daz Newsome, and he has room, and forget about sitting on it. Newsome has room, he has speed. He might take it all the way. He slips and still regains himself, but he's tackled at the 15-yard line. What a play by Daz Newsome.
I don't think there was anything available that time on that play, and Newsome
made something available.
He just makes it work. Again, you get momentum going, and I'm so impressed with the young man.
Yeah.
And I've got this coach up there in Charlottesville could use some speed like that. We see him improving.
Harrisonburg, Norfolk, Blacksburg, any school in the state would take him. Richmond,
yeah.
Williamsburg. I mean, come on.
Goodness.
None.
Only one of him.
Back to Newsome, up the middle.
And he doesn't need a breather either.
Yeah. Skylar Wilson on the tackle. First time we've really
clock
seen.
running now.
And Mike Smith and the Crabbers call a timeout.
Timeout.
Again, we didn't see Newsome as much in the backfield, but he is just taking the ball and going with it on this game.
You see Conliffe come out. And
that's her last timeout.
He had set out that play. There, he in red.
Again, us walking through the hallways of Hampton with those guys.
Those guys came out of the locker room, almost scared you and me. And we're not small by any means, but it scared me.
Well, I kept elbowing you, saying, "Hey, did you see that?"
No, I thought you were pushing me into them. How do you like to see those guys ahead of you in the line? Does anybody else get anything to eat at all?
I think they have to close the cafeteria early when they
go
on their
goodness.
lunch break.
But the thing I've been impressed tonight is they're starting to work really well together, and we've seen some good coordination, especially in that second and third drive for the Crabbers. And I know Mike Smith's trying to do it now. He wants to score here. You're literally this playoff system now. If you can lose a game and not worry about not being in the playoffs. You win 4 or 5 games, you get in. So a lot of what you're doing is trying to prepare for situations in the playoffs, and I know that's what Mike's doing. He had a minute to go. Let's see if he can score. And with Newsome, that's a human touchdown.
Trips near side. Newsome in the backfield. Nunn in shotgun. Goes back to Newsome. Actually, Nunn keeps it. He has room on the outside, and he gets inside the 5. Looks like around the 2.
That's a real nice run for Nunn as he's able to pull that ball right out of the hands of the running back. First down.
And again, you have to respect Daz Newsome. Looks like Nunn is going to spike the ball at the 5.
Well, Hampton's going to get a penalty with Mike Smith and Danny Mitchell. They'll get 2 men extra on the field. Yeah. So Nunn's going to come in. That's a real nice play.
Yeah.
That's a tough skill to learn. To put the ball in the gut of the running back and go along together for a while until you see Smith, the one that comes over and gets the play.
And as dangerous as Daz Newsome is, that play is basically available all night if they want it.
Well, you got to tackle Newsome whether he's got the ball or not. You just tackle him. And that way Nunn gets the advantage of running in.
Right. Nunn under center, pitches to Newsome. He cuts it inside, cuts it back outside, and he spins in the end zone. Touchdown Hampton. Well, that was just as easy as the first couple that he's had already.
Easy for Daz Newsome or Barry Allen to flash, but not necessarily easy for anybody else. As you saw, it was like a pinball that time, having to go around the defenders.
Well, let me rephrase that. He makes it look easy.
He does make it look easy. 27-0 Crabbers here. Valenzuela in. And Newsome's going to hold, and then I guess Newsome will take the tee back, and Newsome will
fill the water bottles up.
Right. Daz on the hold. Jesus Valenzuela. Hold down.
It's good. He's perfect. He's 4 for 4 on extra points.
Real good form. And again, that's playoff practice right there. Here's the play. Watch Newsome. He was going out, but a good block lets him come back in, and he's got to go back out again. Kecoughtan's number 9, Andre Kemp, not able to hang on to the jersey long enough. That's that butter they put on there right before the game comes out. I would say they do that, but Red and Conliffe would probably chase him around.
Not enough for that pregame meal earlier.
Right, my goodness. We'll ask Mike Trevus about that and see if he's what the secret is. Keep the food stock there.
Like you said, Mike Smith has the biggest line he's ever had. A lot of them play both ways, like you were alluding to earlier.
Well, it's funny, you know, in historically the last 10, 15 years, we've seen Woodside really bring in some of the bigger linemen. And, of course, I don't think they've won a state title with that, but they certainly bring in the big guy.
Yeah,
Valenzuela with a satellite kick.
Woodside's historically known for their big line. As Etheridge gets the ball at the 5, makes a cutback near side, but goes out of bounds around the 30. Another almost close to another late hit.
It is a late hit. They're going to call that, and that's just overzealousness by the Crabbers. No need to do it. He was 5 yards off the field, and even though he didn't tackle him, a little too much aggression by the Crabber coverage team.
Second time tonight.
This is all Etheridge. The young man's played well. That's a tough kick to catch to begin with.
He's got some moves, too, for his
Yes,
side.
he does. And he comes out of bounds, tackling the leg.
15 yards from the end of the run. 1st and 10, Kecoughtan.
Well, you know, and I'm going to say something about Valenzuela's kick. You don't see that very often, that sideways spin, and that made it tough to catch. And that's a real nice, another weapon for the playoffs. Etheridge just proved himself to be a great returner. And they get 15 yards, they're going to take a knee, and that's going to take them to the locker room here at halftime. The Crabbers, 3 offensive touchdowns, 1 defensive. They lead it 28-0 here. We go to the first half. We're going to have Mike Trevus, the athletic director at Hampton High School, join us here in a few minutes. Come on back to Darling Stadium. Score here, 28-0 Hampton. We're back here at halftime at Darling Stadium. The Hampton Crabbers lead the Kecoughtan Warriors 28-0 on a beautiful night in Darling Stadium. And we're joined here in the booth tonight by Hampton High School's athletic director, Mike Trevus. Mike, great to have you up here with us.
Oh, great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Tell the fans a little bit about yourself. You're in your 4th year at Hampton High School.
That's
what
correct.
brings you to Hampton?
That's correct. This is my 4th year at Hampton High School, my 4th football season, so I'm excited about as we enter this 4th year. Previously at a private Christian school in Chesapeake, Atlantic Shores. I was there for 9 years, and then another smaller Christian school, Calvary Christian. So this is entering my 14th year as an athletic administrator. But coming across the water, I had an opportunity to come to Hampton, you know, obviously with the traditional athletic program that they have, and so it was just a great opportunity for me and my family. And so I relished the opportunity and grateful for the position.
Well, we're glad to have you over here.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on in Hampton High School this fall.
Well, great. Yeah, obviously football's doing off to a great start. We have a new band director here, Mr. Bill. He's doing a tremendous job, and we're very happy and pleased with them and as they progress. Our fall season, we have our volleyball, our field hockey. You know, volleyball won their first game in school history, and actually backed it up with another second win. And so we're very excited about looking forward for that program. And field hockey is doing very well. We need to get our numbers a little bit more in field hockey so we can field our JV program so that varsity program can flourish. And obviously our JV football program and cheerleaders and cross country. And so, a lot of things are flowing and going very well. And so we're excited what this year holds for our fall programs.
Well, that field hockey adds a whole nother option for young ladies.
Yes, sir.
To find their way to college. That's a fast-growing sport.
Most definitely, and I think many opportunities for young ladies to get to that next level and get scholarshiping and get school paid for. In many programs, not just field hockey alone. It could be golf, it could be swimming, it could be track and field. But the female athlete, it's a great opportunity for females to get to that next level and get some scholarship.
And tonight, Mike, the football team is rolling 28-0. Talk a little about they're in first place in the 5A South, and the rankings just came out. So talk a little bit about the football team.
Well, I think you're seeing it tonight. I think Daz left, Daz right. I think that's that's the way you want to go. And we got a big line, a great line, and Coach Mitchell and Coach Smith obviously heading up and leading the program. Obviously off to a great start, but we have a long way to go.
Yeah.
I don't think our guys are ahead of us. They're one game at a time. But they're looking good tonight. A little slow here in the first quarter, but I think second quarter they put up 21 points. So, but we're looking forward to it. And next week after tonight, we get tonight done. We got a week ahead, and we got Phoebus ahead of us. So we're looking forward to it.
We enjoy having you up here, and we enjoy being out here every week. Talk to us a little bit about a question we've asked every athletic director we've had is, how do we get more students and more families into our stadium here and have them come back? We got a good opportunity next weekend with the Hampton Phoebus game.
Well, definitely. Obviously, it's a big rivalry game, part of the rivalry series, national series. So we're excited about that. We know that's going to bring a lot of people out just because of the traditional rivalry between the two schools. But we know obviously we want to see it, through all of our games here at Darling, especially. We have a great opportunity by having a city stadium here. Kind of centrally located, not on one campus. I think we take a little bit away from not having our own student body coming when it's not on campus. We lose a little bit of that vibe and that environment that we have there. But I think it's a great opportunity for our own student athletes to get in the hallways, kind of recruit the kids, befriend a lot of these kids, and so these kids will want to come out and see them play. And I think that's something we bear on our own shoulders to kind of do throughout the hallways. But it'd be great if we had some incentives for these kids to come out here, whether that's maybe reduced ticket prices or maybe incentives in school. We do have some crabber buck stuff that they call at school, so for good behavior and different things, and maybe we can kind of get those out to those kids, and they can come out here and get those incentives to come out. And cheerleaders and football players and band players, band participants alike can befriend those kids and get them out here. I mean, it's an environment that we want. And obviously seeing some of the old games on TV, seeing this place packed, I'd love to get back to that. With today's social media and everything else going on, I think it's created more opportunities for kids to do other things outside of it. And obviously, they can hear about the game, through Twitter and through everything else. They can get live information right away. So it's like we don't need to spend the $5. We can go do something else. Watch TV or play video games, etc. So. Hopefully we can get some incentives, some school spirit going around these kids, and obviously, the product that's on the field, goes a long way too.
Well, you certainly want to see Daz Newsome when it's only $5.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When it's going to be a Saturday afternoon and be a little more expensive.
Yeah. He's worth the price of admission for sure.
He really is. Well, Mike Trebus, great to have you with us this evening, and we look forward to seeing you next week on Saturday afternoon against Phoebus, and we'll see you here during the second half.
Sounds great. Thanks for all you guys do.
All right. Mike Trebus of Hampton High School. Well, we've got a second half to go here. Thank you, Mike. Good to have you up here at the booth. We've got a heck of a game here. The score doesn't look like it, Wube, but we've seen some. I think Coach Coley's got to be pretty pleased with what he's seeing. He's identifying some kids. Still, it's a long process, but he's identified a few tonight. His seniors are not letting him down one bit. On the Crabber side, the offense looks so much more coherent than it did in the second half last week.
They absolutely do on both ends. I mean, Etheridge, Karan, Nixon, and Grandy have been, the beneficiaries of Coley's offense tonight, are the seniors. And on Hampton, Daz Newsome, like you said, Daz Newsome left, Daz Newsome right, and that's actually what we saw in the first half. So, I look to see that again in the second half. Daz Newsome getting the ball and making things happen.
Well, we got some replays to show you here, and you'll see Daz Newsome left, Daz Newsome right, often in the same run.
Yeah. I think this is the fumble, the first touchdown by Hampton.
And that kind of put Kecoughtan behind the 8-ball right from the beginning.
And
here's Grandy with a nice run back. Keith Grandy, a senior, will play on Saturday somewhere.
For sure. And he's gonna. If we had an all LSC team, he'd definitely be on it. He's been all over the place this season. And here's the fake punt. There was a result of it was a penalty on this one. Late hit.
Right there that gave him the first down. Again, nice first drive. Here's Mr. Newsome. That time Newsome up the middle. This time Newsome ran the left end. See, the cameras do a pretty good job just hanging on to him.
He just walked in that time.
There's a long kick. There's Daz Newsome there.
Here's the play of the night so far for me. The kickoff return as he goes down the sideline and cuts in the middle.
This is where you see Newsome go left, right, and up the middle at the same time. He does his spin move here. He tries to go the other way to run around the coverage team. And the reverse. This is stiff.
That was a great play. Great reverse.
So the Crabbers putting it to the Warriors a little bit. Last one there is Newsome left. Newsome up to the left, in the round, and down the left side.
I think this is the touchdown, the last touchdown by Newsome. A little spin move and gets in on that one.
And just dodging players as he goes. Kecoughtan's defense not bad at all, but it's like trying to bring down the Flash.
You see
DJ Nunn
warming up, yeah.
I think he's run a very tight offense tonight.
Hasn't had a chance to throw the ball much, but why throw the ball when you have Smith and Newsome in the backfield?
Right, and you can work on a few things. Plus, they were going in the second quarter. They're going into the wind, so you may see them if they start going right to left in your screen. You may see more passing from DJ Nunn.
You see Daz Newsome, the senior.
So often you don't see these young men without their helmets, and
right.
it would be a nice practice to kind of see them. So when you see them out at the food line, or you see them on a Saturday night around town having a meal, you recognize them and speak to them. You know, folks, these are the young people of your community, and you see there, Principal Kevin Davis.
You made a good point, Frank. Pay your $5 now, because.
Right.
I didn't get a chance to pay this. I didn't get a chance to pay to see Tyrod Taylor play. Now I have to pay what to get in to see him play in the NFL?
You can't afford it.
Yeah.
None of us can afford.
I can't afford to see Tyrod, but when he was here, you could pay $5 to see him. And
Tyrod now can afford to help us go see him. Yeah.
Hey, if you're watching Tyrod, get us some tickets to the Bills games.
Tyrod had a great game last week, and he's had 2 games in a row now with the Bills. He's putting the program together up there very well.
But most importantly, great, humble, down-to-earth young man.
Yep.
You can't find a better guy than him.
Well, we're so lucky. The players, so many of them. We had Tony Rutland in the booth last week. These young men that come out of the peninsula and go off and do these great things.
They never
at these
forget
great
where they're
universities.
from.
They don't. They don't. So 28-0 here as a couple more minutes been put on the clock as we get ready to go with the second half. Kecoughtan got the ball the first time, so Hampton's going to get the ball here. And it looks to me like they're also the same direction. They'll go away from the win here in the third quarter. A beautiful night out here. Good crowd. Lots of some students over there in the Kecoughtan section have come in to watch their team, support their team. I know it's tough. You know, when you come in, and it's just tough. It's one of those years, and you know, you say, what do you say about them? Well, you point out that these guys get a chance to play where they didn't, and they're getting to play with each other.
Right. Well,
and that's going to be make a big difference. This isn't one playing in this spot and one playing another spot. They're all getting to play, and they're getting a chance to get that line solidified for next year.
Well, we talked about it. Every time we turn around, a sophomore's making a play, a sophomore's coming in, so. You know, we have to keep in mind that they are young and they're getting experience, like you said, for next year.
Well, we've been so impressed with George Mitchell, and I can see number 55 for the Warriors. I think you're going to see a lot built around him.
Yes.
Because he, too, is a sophomore, but he has really played well. We saw him tackle Owusu one time for Bethel with his back and then play so well against Phoebus. The young man just is going to be a nice centerpiece for Coach Coley. And he's finding some new pieces tonight. We've had a couple of injuries just tonight. We see Samaj Harris out tonight. That's a tough loss. Quentin Thomas out. I mean, they really running out of guys, some of the older guys. So they got to go to the young men. And I think they've proved to play very well. There's Mike Trebus, very pleased. And Matt Mitchell, right now coaching baseball at Norfolk State.
Is that where he's coaching?
He's a third base coach for the Peninsula Pilots, and just a 2-time Pettit Cup champion there.
It's a pooch kicking. DJ Nunn, the quarterback, calls for a fair catch.
You come off the sideline to catch it, to just kind of shorten up what we're going to do. So a short kick.
It came from the fourth row, like you said. Somebody from the Kecoughtan bench came from. But
well, let me finish on Matt Mitchell. Mitchell, of course, a football player and a baseball player, played both at Averett University, but he's been coaching all summer long. You can see him at War Memorial Stadium here in Hampton, coaching third base for the Pilots. Pilots within one game this year of their third Pettit Cup championship in 4 years, and that's with Mitchell going to third base in June of 2013, taking over that spot, and the Pilots have been dynamic behind another Crabber. Their head coach out there, Hank Morgan, a Hampton Crabber and a baseball player. So come out and see Matt Mitchell. You're going to see him in the major college baseball very soon.
Matt Mitchell, born number 1.
Yes,
his
he
senior
did.
year, got a state championship backing up Tyrod Taylor when he was at Hampton High.
And quite an honor as we see some late substitution for the Crabbers and Mike Smith. Not happy with that. Of course, Mike has to look up into the face of most of his players. He's asking for an explanation. I'm sure he's very calmly saying, well, young man, why were you late on the field?
One thing about Mike Smith, scores 28-0, but he doesn't see the 28.
Nope.
He's still going to make sure his guys are in the right spots.
Well, the other thing, Wu Bei, you've noticed that he always talks about numbers. That's number this, number that, number that. He rarely talks about individuals.
You know what? You're right.
But he knows every one of them by name. And I'm talking about his own players and opponents together.
He'll say number 9, number 8.
He knows them all, and he knows what he's got to do to win. He's been very successful.
Hampton back on offense. DJ Nunn goes back to Daz Newsome. He goes far side. He has room again. He cuts it inside, and he has room. He's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Hampton and Daz Newsome.
Well, all I can say is wow.
Wow.
I'll give you the commentary. Wow. Wow. That is just finding your way, tiptoeing through the defenders and finding his way to the end zone. The young man is not to be stopped.
I don't think he would have got touched in flag football on that one.
Watch the play here. Good block on Thompson that opened it up. Missed tackle there, and then just nothing to do. That's like trying to catch the flash.
And I'm gonna say it. I think I'm gonna say it one more time, Frank. Virginia Tech, UVA.
Yeah.
Please,
somebody come and get him so we don't have to drive far to see him.
That's right.
Valenzuela with the point after, out of the hold of Newsome. And another kick, and it looks like another point. 35-0 here in this ball game. And of course, 35-0 means what, Wube, here in high school football?
The clock keeps running.
So a running clock rules here, and I don't know all the rules. All I know is that it doesn't stop at the normal incomplete passes and out-of-bounds situations. It will stop on timeouts.
And touchdowns as
and
well.
Touchdowns. So you'll see the kickoff. So Kecoughtan's effort to catch up here is going to be hindered by the clock, at least to put another point on. They faced the running clock against Bethel the first time we had them, and they were able to put a touchdown on the board. In fact, Kecoughtan has played better in the third quarter than they've played in any other quarter we've seen.
That's coaching strategy, coaching adjustments at halftime.
And you see Karan Nixon and Keith Grandy in particular just step up. Of course, Etheridge over here, you can't see him on the right side of your screen, but he's been the returner of record tonight and has run some balls back pretty well. So we'll see if Kecoughtan can stop the running clock by scoring here against the Crabbers. Valenzuela to kick off.
Puts a little more pressure on Jackson, the quarterback, however.
It does.
Good kick by Venezuela. That's going to be Grandy. He's dangerous. He gets the ball at the 10-yard line. Comes near side. He has room, but it's closed quickly.
It is
by the Hampton special teams.
Yep. Helped up there by the Crabbers. It looked like number 31, didn't it? Of the Crabbers made the tackle. Matthew Taft. 5'8",
160, backup linebacker.
So helps up Grandy. A lot of respect the Crabbers have for Keith Grandy. They've faced him now. This is the 4th year.
And let me just say this. We need to congratulate Keith Grandy for staying at Kecoughtan. He knew it was going to be a tough year. He had a lot of young players. A lot of players would have jumped ship and gone somewhere else. But, Grandy has somewhat of a loyalty to his school, and he stays.
For our longtime fans, it is easier to transfer now than it's ever been in public school. And a lot of these players, Grandy and Nixon in particular, I know that have been there and played 4 years. But always great to see the seniors.
That's right. There's Nixon, speaking of which, on the carry. He's brought down by, looks like Elijah Cutliff.
Conliff is
Conliff, I'm sorry.
He's got long arms. And that time he takes up a lot of space and is able to take that, just be able to take the running back down with one paw. Conlon takes up a lot of space. You see him there, number 55, on the knee there in front of the ball. 65 of his teammate is Jalen Powell. You'll see Joshua Volk, number 67. You'll see Ezekiel Volk, 75. And, of course, Justin Red, number 70. Big line for the Crabbers.
Jackson, shotgun.
So Jackson's going to throw a backwards pass, but that one's caught by Grandy.
Yeah. And
Grandy showing some of his move down the sideline and able to pick up the first down.
Okay, thanks so much. Yeah, appreciate it.
So 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Good move by Grandy. Grandy's showing some of that, the same type of flair. It's just harder for him. Not as many blocks, not as many weapons.
Everybody's going to key on him.
Oh, they've keyed on him all year long. It'd be interesting to see how they go with the All-Peninsula District because, in my opinion, Grandy and Nixon both belong on it.
Absolutely.
And I'm not putting George Mitchell much lower than second team right now.
I think he should be
sophomore
somewhere on
nose
there.
guard.
along with Owusu and a couple
Oh,
others.
of course, that we've seen from Bethel.
Etheridge gets the ball near side, and he's tackled by a host of Crabbers.
You know, you see the Crabber line able to stop the run, 1 yard pickup there. Phoebus game was going to be a Phoebus Heritage game tomorrow, Saturday afternoon. That game moved back early in this week in anticipation of the storm, which hasn't come and is not coming. But they're going to play the 4th of November, the week before the playoffs. So they surrender their bye week.
Yeah.
Interesting views on that. You would think if they're worried about an injury late in the season, but also I know Mike Smith told us tonight he would prefer just to play straight through, and he is. They play on the 4th.
They play Churchland, right.
They started a week later than everybody else.
Nixon again on the carry.
Not much room there.
Looks like it was
that Conliffe, or was that 65?
It might be
Jalen Powell.
Powell on the tackle, yeah.
Powell with a good bear hug of a tackle. So now it's 3rd down for the Warriors, picking up a yard of play. Sadly, they don't have 10 downs here. They need something long than 1 yard. Nixon out on receiving here at the bottom of your screen to the right there.
I think it's going to be a timeout by Kecoughtan.
Kecoughtan.
And
well, we do have Hampton Phoebus next Saturday. That should be a good contest. We were impressed with the Phantoms.
Yes, very impressed.
2 weeks ago, they played these Kecoughtan Warriors, and it was Kecoughtan, wasn't it?
Kecoughtan, yes, it was. Yeah, when there was Andre Jackson and
Daniel
Wright.
Daniel Wright, who didn't carry the ball that much, but when he did, he was hard to stop. And real good corners. And some great interceptions that we were so impressed with Coach Blunt over at Phoebus telling us about how many interceptions they had as a team. I think they're up at 20, aren't they, through 6 games?
Well, Gregory has 9 on the season.
Right.
The record in the Peninsula District is 13.
Yeah, so that's that team is that should be a terrific game next week, because Hampton is starting to put it together here.
Hampton and Phoebus, I always look forward to that game. Big rivalry.
Heard Tony Rutland talked about that last week, how he liked to come out to that game. Well, we hope to see you out next week. This game will be aired. We'll be up on the channel, of course, on YouTube starting on Monday. So catch us either place and then come out and visit with us next Saturday. 2 o'clock start here at Darling Stadium.
All right, Jackson.
That's going to come back. Is that Paul that time belonged? I don't think that was Conliffe. I think that was
5-yard penalty.
Powell again on the play.
David Powell with the swat of the pass, but the receiver moved it on the Kecoughtan line, so they're going to bring it back 5. Well, here come the Warriors.
Be 3rd and 13. Clock still running.
Makes it tough when you can't get that 5-yard penalty. And there have been very few penalties tonight. We're impressed.
Yeah,
we've seen a season of penalties so far, but both teams have cut down on those tonight. Grandy at the bottom of your screen.
Jackson goes to Etheridge, and he is tackled by a bushel of crabs.
Yeah.
not a host of crabs, but a bushel of crabs.
All right.
As the truck.
Yeah, our replay. Krista Campbell, a bushel of crabbers there. She says our cameramen and women, Susan Bauer, Nat Braxton up here at the top. Steve Fryer on the field with our intern, Alan Beaver. Replay, Krista Campbell, a Baltimore Oriole fan who's saddened this week, along with Wu Bei. My nephew on the graphics, Matt Buckwalter. The audio by Randy Bagoli, our camera control by Renee Camden, and our director, the ever worrisome Andy Foley.
Still upset about that Oriole game, but yeah. This time Grandy's back to punt. He's going to get the punt off. I guess now they're trying to kick away from Newsom, which is a great idea.
He kicked that one over the fence, which isn't a bad idea, really. Just kick it off the field.
Don't let him even get close to touching the ball.
It looks like the scientific spotting process puts it on the 49 even, the 49 of Kecoughtan, 1st and 10 for the Crabbers.
35-0 as the clock runs for Hampton.
Well, 5 minutes left here in the 3rd. Crabbers with a 35-point lead, but so let's see what Mike Smith is going to do here. This is practice a little bit to sharpen up your skills. They've got a good line they're facing, so let's see what they can do against Mitchell and company. We may see some passing here. They're going into the wind.
None. This time he's under center.
That shift to the right, which the Warriors have caused at least one penalty night for the Crabbers. Not this time.
Time it goes to Smith, who dives up the middle. He's tackled by...
That's number 73 for the Kecoughtan Warriors. Is that Skylar Wilson tonight?
Yeah, Skylar Wilson. Changes numbers. As Smith got a gain of about 5.
We will tell the fans he did change the number before the game.
Right,
in the game, but you'll see Wilson here.
You see Nunn just
slide out of his left tackle.
Newsome over and then gives it to Smith. Nice pickup of 4.
We'll give the credit there to the right defensive tackle that time to hold up the block and forcing Smith back inside. So pick up a 4. Nunn back is gonna, looks like he's gonna throw. Nope, gonna hand to Smith.
Newsome, that's Smith again as he spins. Great tackle by Andre Kemp.
We couldn't keep the Crabbers from picking up the first down. The Crabbers moving the ball. Good look right here.
Now, one advantage that Hampton has obviously is the line, but to have 2 quality backs that you have an opportunity to give it to with Smith and Newsome. Again, we haven't seen Newsome out as a wideout, but he's and Pulley's out there also, who hasn't had a chance to touch the ball, who I thought would get the ball more.
I don't think has he thrown a pass yet?
I don't think so.
In motion.
This time it goes to flag on the play.
I'm going to say motion down here on Cam Stevenson. Either Stevenson on the end.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
So that reveals one play, which was working pretty well there.
Yeah.
So Stevenson's going to get to play from Coach Smith and relay it. Cam Stevenson wears number 1. And he and DJ Nunn, who have shared time at quarterback, are going to come in together.
Haven't seen Stevenson at quarterback yet tonight. Nunn has basically handed it off most of the night. Smith, this time in the backfield, Nunn under center.
Same play.
Newsome goes in motion, same play. As Newsome cuts up, but he's tackled. As you just can see what Newsome can do when he gets the ball.
What's that song? Slide to the left. Slide to the right. At the time he slid
crisscross,
to the left.
right.
Able to pick up another yard on the slide. He picks up almost 5. I think Kecoughtan is reading the play pretty well, especially when it's run twice at him. But that time, reading the play well, but Newsome able to turn that body and slip in there and pick up 5 yards, almost 5 yards.
Every time he touches it, has the potential to take it all the way. This time Smith, again, Newsome in motion. This time it goes to Smith up the middle. George Mitchell right there to make the tackle and drag him down.
Mitchell and number 72 for the Warriors. Who's wearing 72 tonight for Kecoughtan. Maybe in Skylar Wilson, 73. No, it's 72. We just don't have a number on him. Big man runs off. 75 comes on as we have numbers shuffled around tonight.
Blake Brashear.
Blake Brashear has come in. 72 has gone out. That was a nice play by him.
3rd and 5. Clock still running. 1:45 left in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 4 from the 34.
Newsome stays out here on the near side.
Nunn. Shotgun. Might be a pass. Oh, it's a high snap. Nunn picks it up, but he has nowhere to go. He reverses field. Now he has blockers, and he cuts inside for some reason and gets tackled. Looks like Blake Brashear on the tackle.
Yeah, punishing loss of 2 yards.
Wow.
For just about everybody on that play.
Looks like it was a direct snap to Smith.
I think that's what it was intended to be. Here's a replay.
Yeah, it looks like it was
hit him right in the face.
Like Smith was supposed to get it. Nunn picks it up.
Here's a big block right there.
And that was Powell.
And then a good stick over here by Kecoughtan's number 24, John Tucker.
Jalen Powell had a great block on that one. So it's 4th and 7. Hampton will go for it as it goes. The clock goes under a minute with 45 seconds left. Kecoughtan jumps off sides.
Yeah, it picks up an easy 5.
Coachman.
It's not going to give him the first down, but gets him right closer.
Still 4th down.
Maybe that was Hampton's intent to make them jump off sides.
A little hard count.
Yeah.
Well, it gets them down within 2 yards of that first down marker.
4th and 2.
Still running, though. They may get the playoff here in the 3rd. 15 seconds. Nunn taking his time. They're going to try to get it off. 8 seconds now.
Goes to Newsome. Their favorite play. He sweeps far side. Look at the speed on Newsome. He cuts it back inside. He's tackled.
Well, that time
inside the 10-yard line.
John Tucker had great defensive position and literally just got outrun. I mean, and that's no slight on Tucker.
It shows you the speed of Newsome.
I mean, you and me, we still be back at the 30, but Newsome just accelerates. He steps on the gas when he wants to. Watch this play. Tucker's got him red.
And this has been their play all night. This has been that play all night. They've been.
And then he just steps on it.
Good block by Pulley.
Block right up in the face mask. I'm surprised that wasn't called. It looked like a little bit of a hand to the face, but.
So that ends the 3rd quarter. 35-0 Hampton.
Well, what we're seeing from the Crabbers is what I'm sure Mike Smith wants to see. A little more organization in the second half on his offensive line. He's not going to get as many plays in as he would like here in the 4th quarter and third and 4th quarter, do the running clock, but he's getting, I think, a better chance to see what he's got going in that Phoebus game next week. And to Kecoughtan's credit, I mean, they've played Phoebus, they've played Bethel, they've played Hampton, they've played Woodside, right? Have we played Woodside yet?
Yes.
They played a much improved Gloucester. They haven't played Woodside.
Yeah, they haven't.
So they
you're right.
So they've got, they've got Warwick, they've got Woodside, and they've got Menchville. And I know Coach Coley get a couple wins out of that. Heck, there was a team in the playoffs last year that was 1-9 that played Lafayette and was undefeated.
And they got in. Yeah, they got in at 1-9.
They got in. I'm surprised they even wanted to get in, but they got in all right. And Lafayette mowed them over like grass, but the system produces those oddball playoff entries.
That's right.
Here come the Crabbers trying to put another touchdown on the board.
Newsome goes in motion. Ball goes to Smith.
Could stand up to the line that time. Number 73.
That's Skylar. Skylar Wilson.
Skylar Wilson, and then 70. Was it 72? Maybe 75 for the. That's Blake Brochure, who's come in and played pretty well.
He's coming off of an injury. You see
Brochure holding up his blocker there, and then he reaches back. 64 also in on the tackle.
Chandler Perry, another sophomore for the
Chandler
Warriors.
Perry, who's made his first appearance that we've noticed tonight.
Yeah, looks pretty good. All right, Nunn. This time he goes to Newsome. He goes near side, and he's going to get in the end zone once again.
That's at least 3, maybe 4.
There's been so many, you lose track of. Daz Newsome
scores a touchdown. You see again, there's not a lot of opening there, but the sheer acceleration is what is able to get him in the end zone. We got a Warrior down out of bounds.
It looks like Andre Kemp.
Hopefully a cramp. They are stretching him like a cramp, so that's good. That's a good sign. It is a little more humid than you think here tonight, and again, with we have this cold front pushing in. It's creating a northeast breeze, so it's a little confusing about whether this is tropical or not. But you've got the northeast breeze, and then we've had cloud cover today, and then we had sunshine at halftime. I sent you my hurricane supply there with suntan lotion. And so I had a nice lunch break today, and then the overcast again. But right before the sunset, we could see blue sky.
Yeah. Nice breeze, like you said.
But it's been more humid this afternoon than it was this morning, so I think that may have affected the Warrior player there. There's
just not getting
Hampton
enough fluids.
Cheerleaders. A hard-working group, a very talented group. My goodness.
And like you said, they work just as hard in the summer and the fall. They'll be back for basketball season.
Well, I will tell the citizens of Hampton, if you get out in August and you ride by the high schools, if you really want to see what our community, our young people are up to, go by the high schools on a humid August night. You're greeted by the band. They'll be in the parking lot. You'll be greeted by the track team and the cross-country team. They'll be running around the island in Hampton, or they'll be running around the field out there at Kecoughtan. You'll see the field hockey team. You'll see the football team. You'll see the band. They're all out getting ready for the season. Each of them have seasons. Each of them is just as important as the other. We're very fortunate we get to broadcast the football games. I know we've done some volleyball. That's a new sport in the public schools here.
And you heard Mike Trebus saying the volleyball team got the first ever
and second win, which is outstanding.
Yeah.
You know, when we came along a few years ago, really just the big 3 sports were available. And now there are so many sports available in the public schools, and so a lot of opportunity. And that doesn't count all the kids that are also doing projects and competitions of other natures, academic projects. I mean, Hampton is really pushing the different kinds of opportunities. I know the Robot Club, which if you haven't gone to one of these robot meets, have you been up there?
Well, Phoebus has a great robotic. They have a great robotic program.
Phoebus and Mitchville in particular. And you go up to Mitchville or over to Phoebus and watch one of those competitions.
Amazing.
You have to get a 12-year-old to explain to you what's going on. Here's Valenzuela for the extra point. And that's 5 for 5.
He's been perfect on extra points
tonight.
tonight.
PD kicker right there.
There you go.
But I was telling you, I took my daughter up to see that robotics competition up there, and I did. I had to have my friend Nick Buter, a Hampton Crabber, explain to me what was going on. His daughters were involved.
Right.
Here's the run by Newsom. He just scoots around the end, scoots around the end again, scoots in the gap there.
Just gets in the tight spaces and slips in.
And throws his body right in there.
Yeah.
So Newsom with 3 touchdowns tonight. Hampton leads it by 6 touchdowns, 42-0. Clock will run here once they had the kickoff. There's the Crabber band. You know, Mike Tree was talking a little bit about the new band instructor. So important is the band instructor to bring the gift of music and try to find the kids that want to get involved. My brother-in-law is a Bethel grad. He learned to play the saxophone at Bethel High School in the band. Now he makes his living as a singer and plays a little sax.
Awesome.
And he's a crooner. Don't see many of him. He's a Harry Connick-like performer.
We got to get him in for one of the halftime shows.
We've had him sing the national anthem. Every time he sings the national anthem at the Pilots during the summer, they win.
He's got to come back.
He was sealed the Pettit Cup for us in 2014. Here's Valenzuela, left-handed.
There's Keith Grandy up the middle. He's tackled by a bushel of crabbers.
And Grandy is not going to go down. That young man
has
played hard.
All year.
Yes, he has. And been a target because he's one of the guys that everybody knows now. He can't hide behind those guys he had last year.
Stay tuned. He'll be on the basketball court as well later on in the season for the Warriors basketball team. Good point guard.
We are going to see some terrific basketball this winter.
We didn't get a chance to talk to Mike about the basketball program, but they seem to be destined for a state title run this year.
Well, let me tell you, my old coach and my friend Walter Brower out there, but Eric Brown, who has come in and is the head coach there now, what a basketball mind he has. 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Rajon Jackson back. Let's see if he can make something here and happen for the Warriors in the 4th quarter.
Keyshawn Harris is the running back. Jackson looks to pass. Complete. Oh, it's actually incomplete. Good hit by Johnny Majette on that tackle.
Jamon Fleming, the receiver there, number 87, a junior, 5'11", 133 pounds.
Yeah, Johnny Majette jarred it loose.
Fleming, 133, tall and thin.
Yeah, look at that.
And
nice.
That's a good stick.
Textbook tackle.
Yep. 2nd and 10 for the Warriors.
Is Karan Nixon comes back in the game.
You can tell Nixon, he's a solid running back, linebacker.
The time he fakes the Nixon, a rare throw by Jackson. He doesn't have time to throw. He's sacked.
I don't know if that wasn't a planned run. The rollout seemed to take a little too long. So that time Jackson brought down. Rajon Jackson, again, a sophomore, 6'4", 160-pounder.
Just a sophomore. First year starting. First year varsity experience.
So he's really been thrown in the thick of it this season.
Just like a lot of the other of his teammates. Get a good look at the Kecoughtan huddle.
3rd down now for the Warriors.
Be 3rd and 16 from the 31. 8:41 left in the 4th quarter. 42-0 Hampton. Nixon up the middle. He's tackled
Good push down the field there. That's that 72 again, who we don't have that on the roster. But that young man's had a couple good blocks.
Elijah Conliffe
Conliffe
on the tackle.
Just untangling himself. There's a Crabber down. Nope, he's all right. Just checking his shoe good. All right.
I think I noticed about Conliffe, he has a quiet game. I mean, you see him out there. Obviously, he's very imposing, but he plays quiet for his size.
It's fun to watch him and Mitchell.
Yeah.
The two of them, complete opposite ends of the scale of height and weight, and senior versus sophomore. But watch the two of them. They really put on a battle.
Low snap. Grandy picks it up, gets the punt off, but unfortunately, it goes to Daz Newsome. This is where he's dangerous. He reverses field. Good tackle though by.
That was number 30 for Warriors.
That's DeJuan Williams, and also on a help from 23, Kecoughtan Harris, who was hurt earlier. Good to see him back in the game making a tackle. Well, as you saw, Newsome reverse field, and we thought he was going to go back and make another special play.
Well, Williams has had his name called a couple times tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, he sure has.
So we'll see a few new faces for the Crabbers here as going to get late in the fourth quarter.
See Newsome still in the game.
Newsome will come out.
None. Goes into the huddle.
If I was Coach Smith, I'd have Newsome on the bus.
At least start warming up. Yeah.
He has played a whale of a game tonight for the Crabbers. So Nunn got two behind him. A couple receivers split out. Tight end on the right side.
Nunn. A good hole. It looks like Smith.
It is.
He has a lot of room. He's going to get tackled at the 26-yard line. Good run by Traquan Smith.
Traquan Smith, 5'10", 195-pounder. He's a senior.
Yeah.
You know, reminds me a little bit of Daniel Wright over at Phoebus.
He
Very
does.
Similar
Very
form.
similar style.
Likes to go right off tackle or right up the middle. See him here. There's some good block out there. Holding up the Warrior line. That was Chandler Perry that got trapped inside and a good block by the Crabber line.
Yeah, another Warrior down.
Yep, that's Harris again, I think.
Kecoughtan Harris. He was down earlier.
Don't know what's bothering him. Maybe up under the chin strap again. So we got breaking the action here with the injured man. Hopefully he'll be able to. It's just cramps. It's hard to see. The trainers come out and he's sitting upright. Watch the Crabbers come over and talk a little bit with Mike Smith. Mike with the hat still backwards, showing a sense of urgency. Danny Mitchell is a longtime assistant there.
Good to see his son coaching over at Norfolk State.
Matt's a superb coach. I've never been so impressed with a young man. And Norfolk State is very lucky to grab him and is smart to get him.
Head coach Wiley Lee coached over at Great Bridge before he went over to Norfolk State. The head coach, baseball coach over at Norfolk State.
Well, Norfolk State is a good program with the pilots, and they do work a little bit with the Peninsula Pilots in the summer. And we've been fortunate to have some pitchers from Norfolk State.
Get a lot of local players too.
One of our first players was John Lynch, who's a Hampton name. The Lynch family grew up on Greenbrier Avenue down there and played basketball mostly. And your grandson John played with us a couple years ago. That's number 2 for the buzz. That Travion Davis.
Yeah.
So Davis going to get a few carries here as we see some new faces in the lineup for both teams. There's a play here.
Again, getting other players in, getting them ready for that playoff run as we go to the second half of the season.
Real good tackle. That was Shane Stouch with the tackle, number 14. You see
backup
that young
quarterback
man.
outside safety.
That time faked, and that's Nunn all by himself.
Hey, he faked me out. Fake. Good fake. Good run.
Susan on the camera or Nat, but one of them was able to go with it.
Yeah, they faked us out up here.
As Nunn kept the ball.
And again, that's going to be something they can do the rest of the season with Smith and Newsome.
Right. But you got to protect.
Like look at it. Everybody on Kecoughtan goes that way, and then Nunn just keeps it and gets a first down. Have a great blocks upfield as well.
I don't know who to give credit for, but the camera work was brilliant there. Everybody's watching the running back. Here comes Davis in. That was Susan
Bowers.
Susan Bowers.
Great job,
Bowers, who's
actually a former Crabber.
Yep. and a member of a family that served our city
That's
schools
right.
very well
Absolutely.
for many years.
A fake by Nunn. He keeps again. This
I'm not-
time he's tackled in the
not
backfield.
sure.
Actually pitches
Now he
it.
hands it to Davis.
Davis.
The Davis.
And Davis gets room. He's going to have a chance to score. He gets
Davis.
tackled at the 2-yard line. Great play by Davis. Actually, good awareness by Nunn to pitch it to Davis.
Well, you called it a fake. I'm not sure it was. I think that was a little confusion with the few new faces in the backfield, but Davis went ahead and took it and saved the yardage and picked up nearly a touchdown. You see that little confusion?
Yeah, you're right. I don't think it was a
Didn't give
fake.
it the first time, but gave it to him the second time. There you go. Take it there, Mr. Davis.
All right, and Davis will take it to the 2-yard line where it's 1st and goal from the 2.
Yeah, Davis going to earn a chance to try to run this one in the end zone. Let's see if he gets the ball this time a little more orthodox fashion.
Nunn. Under center.
It is
Davis.
yeah.
And he is stopped. Looks like Karan Nixon got it in the first initial hit.
Yeah, Nixon not going to be taken out. He wants.
No.
He and Grandy both still in that game. They want a chance. I think Davis may get it again.
Why not?
Well, he certainly saved him some yards, so give it to him again. In comes the Crabbers, number 11, Anthony Cumby. So the Crabbers with the clock running here, 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, 42-0 Hampton. They're trying to tack on another one here, but a few new faces.
Nunn. Been playing quarterback all night, under center. Goes
Matthew-
back to, actually fakes to Davis this time, and he gets in the end zone. Touchdown Hampton. DJ Nunn.
Oh, broken play or design play?
However you
it
want
is,
to call it,
worked.
they got in, yeah.
Call it what you will. They got in. 6 more points for the Crabbers. They move ahead 48-0. A tough night for the Warriors,
Yeah.
but Crabbers have
Hampton.
been able to show a little bit of offensive cohesion we didn't see in the second half. Tonight they've had it all. A very cohesive unit out there offensively.
And we've talked about the line, and that's just what Hampton is doing. Just utilizing the strength up front.
Why not? Valenzuela on the kick. Out of the hold of Daz Newsom. About having Newsom as the holder, though. If he bobbles it, he can just run it in.
Like Hampton is waiting
Still,
for
they're
an
going to have to
additional
kick a
lineman
little
to come
longer,
in.
I think. It's me.
And the lineman
Can't get the snap. You got 5 more seconds to get it out. There it is.
just get it off.
There goes Newsom.
Newsom, I don't know if this was a design play or not, but he's going to try to go for the extra point, and he is stopped.
May have been a bad snap. We'll see. Or a more difficult snap. Or it may have been Newsom trying something a little different.
Called his own number.
Good defense by the Warriors if they're able to stop Daz Newsom. There's George Mitchell, number 55. Well, a solid game by the young man. Well, you know, we hear the Crabbers fight song being played. It's 48-0. Let's talk a little bit. We'll finish up and talk a little bit about a player game for Kecoughtan. And as we watch here, the touchdown run, I think it may have been a blown play. As Nunn it didn't seem to be a very normal way to fake. But I want to compliment this last time we'll see Kecoughtan.
Yeah.
But Keith Grandy, Karan Nixon, and Najee Etheridge, all 3 have played well tonight. And I know there's some seniors that we've called their names tonight. That we have maybe not being able to pick out now, but those 3 in particular played well tonight and played well their entire careers. And we want to congratulate them. And if we had something to award, we give them something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Etheridge there.
Like you said, this is our last time seeing them, and the 3 games we had them, they were all tough games for them, but those young men that you mentioned played great games. So
they really do. They play hard every game. They're very clean players, and we never see any sort of extracurricular activity from the 3 of them other than they keep the legs churning.
Absolutely.
So congratulations to those young men and to all the seniors with Kecoughtan. We're very proud to have been able to call you games. They get another chance here with 2 minutes to go in the fourth. And we're looking forward to seeing Razan Jackson. Razan, a sophomore.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I'm excited about seeing him in the future.
If Kecoughtan can get a I don't want to say Grandy replacement, but someone that can fill the void of Grandy. Give him a little bit more weapons on the outside. It'll be fun to watch.
Well, you're going to see Coach Coley work these guys,
Yeah.
and he's going to work them.
And as far as Hampton, I guess it's no need to debate.
No.
Daz Newsome will be our player of the game tonight.
Yep, he will be.
As last week he was somewhat.
Well, they really keyed on him
last week. We didn't have the big plays as we had tonight, but as you saw tonight, he had some great runs, kickoff on special teams, out of the backfield, and
the offense for the Crabbers, to the credit of Mike Smith and Danny Mitchell and his crew, he's worked hard on that offense this week, and that line has played much better tonight. And that is going to free up Daz Newsome, because we will see him as in the slot. We'll see him wide to catch a pass. Tonight they haven't had I don't think they've thrown a pass, have they?
I don't think, maybe once or twice, but attempt. But I don't know if they complete anything. But like I said, they exclusively used Nat Newsome in the backfield, and you know was very, very effective. So,
well, not showing anything to the Phoebus Phantoms.
That could be it too.
Yeah. And Phoebus has the week off, so they'll be. You know, they've been out. They haven't played in 14 days, 15 days.
Will that be rest or rust? You just don't know.
Right.
So,
too much time after a timeout.
Legal substitution.
No, legal substitution.
Defense.
He's just off of a timeout, which is
no first down.
Third such penalty that they've experienced in the 2 weeks, because they had 2 last week. Again, a pretty clean game tonight.
Not many penalties.
Very, very well played by both teams, and obviously both coaches working on that, because by the time you get to playoffs, you don't have any penalties.
Right. Did they look at some of the backups for the Crabbers as well as Kecoughtan? Jackson still in quarterback. Oh, good smack. That was Williams again on the carry, but he was smacked.
Well, Williams getting the ball a couple times tonight. And going to get him used to playing, because they're going to count on him next year.
Along with Mitchell and Perzinger and.
Well, the thing we want to do, Wubei, is probably get up to Todd Stadium and see Kecoughtan take on some of these new Purdue schools as they finish out their schedule.
That would be a great idea.
Because I think they have improved as we've watched them.
Anytime you lose injuries to your key players, especially on the line.
The seniors,
too. The seniors. You're putting young guys in. It's going to be tough for them to adjust.
The last play of the ball game here.
Goes back to Williams. And Williams has very little room as he's tackled with about a 2-yard loss, and that will do it.
That's going to do it. It's been a rough night for Kecoughtan, but there've been some high spots that I think Coley's going to be pleased with. And a very good game by the Crabbers. A very robotic performance tonight as they have come in, and then they have the special Daz Newsome that shows him, and he's overshadowed even his good running back, Smith, that has played well tonight. You know, don't forget Traquan Smith, and I think you're going to see a lot of teams, especially those from the south side, that come over here and scout. They're going to be so keyed on number 5, they're going to see number 32 run right by him. Well, again, a tough night for the Warriors, but congratulations to those seniors. They have played very well, and we want another group that's been performed very well tonight. Our staff, the cameras, Susan Bowers, Nat Braxton, Steve Fryer down the field with Alan Beaver, our intern, Krista Campbell on the replay, Matt Buckwalter, Randy Begoli, Renee Camden, and of course Andy Foley. So on behalf of our crew up here, Wubei Gabre, I'm Frank Edgar saying goodnight from Darling Stadium. Your final score here on Friday Night Football: the Hampton Crabbers 48, the Kecoughtan Warriors nothing. Good night from Darling.